Yeah, Trail and
I don't have anything on it. It's just a blank screen. I just keep it open to look like official, you know. If you're on a podcast and you're kind of like hosting the thing, you're supposed to have a laptop up,
Makes
right?
it look super official.
Does it?
makes us look smart.
Welcome back, fellas.
I'm all about looking smart, so I don't have to prove it when people start asking me questions.
Fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
That's what I do. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Welcome back. We haven't been together for a long time.
Long time. Like really, how long has it been? It's been a really
Probably what, a month? I would bet, or more.
Maybe
a month.
Yeah, I think it's a month.
Yeah.
Since the three of us were together.
We've had some good guests.
Oh yeah.
You guys were great to hold the fort down.
Yep. I tried to do my best for you and ask some good questions, you know.
Yeah, and we got young Omar on today.
Wait.
Happy to be back.
Wait.
You can't call him young Omar anymore.
I can't?
Why? We're going to get into that later, though, but he's graduated after the Savage.
Bullshit. He's not graduated.
He's no longer young Omar.
Look at that face. You can't say he's graduated.
I'm 27 now.
What? At middle school?
He had no Omar-isms? No like, no weird things?
Didn't you have one? I had one first day, right?
You had,
with my Zulus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
really have one. I like cut my hand. That was pretty much it. When I was...
we'll get into this.
Again?
Again?
No, I almost cut something else last time.
What I really want to know, well, we'll get into it, but what I really want to know is if Omar goes on a 10-day hunt, he gets home, does he need to shave? Or does he have anything... He had sprouted.
He had a really, really solid mustache going on the hunt.
It was no.
It was starting to get there. I could see it just looking at you.
Was it?
Do you want me to pull up the harvest photos, full res, and zoom in on him?
He's got that great Latino blood.
But yeah,
just mustache.
He
mustache
shaved somehow
only.
when he got back. I'm disappointed.
No, I literally shaved at the truck.
No, you did.
I swear.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Is it like when you're like 12 or 13, you're starting to get a few hairs, and you can?
I mean, that's a solid Latino mustache. Right there.
Show that trail. Let's see that trail.
I got to see this. Is it? It's.
We're gonna have to show this on camera.
Yeah.
I do believe this zoomed in. The podcast people. Wow. Is that a selfie?
That's honestly.
That's a selfie.
Oh no!
I'm not just saying this to like make a joke, even though it's gonna make this look even better. That was literally my facial hair in the 6th grade, and I'm not kidding. 6th grade, that's the facial hair I had.
That's at a point in 6th grade where you can just dry shave that.
Yeah.
You just take a razor, a few nicks. That's why you can shave in the truck, right?
Yeah. I was that style 6th grade, and then I was full beard freshman year of high school.
Yeah, that is wild. That is so funny. I can't wait to put that out there. That's a clip.
We almost need just a Instagram reel as well, highlighting that right now. So
should we require Omar to grow
shout
his
out
mustache
to Daniel
out?
right now to make us a great reel of Omar's mustache for the podcast.
We need to come up with something that he has to grow out his
Omar,
mustache.
you can't grow your mustache until you kill another elk with your bow.
Can't shave it.
Well,
it is May. We could do mustache May.
No way.
Mustache, come on.
Mustache May.
Mustache May.
If I could grow one like you guys, I would consider
the whole
it.
point.
You can grow.
Why
You
it makes
can.
it funny is you can't grow one like us.
I don't want that. I need some Bosley on my lip.
People who say they can't grow are
whatever it
people
is.
who just don't get past the stage where
The awkward stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been at the awkward stage ever since I was 13. It's not gonna happen.
So are we doing it for the month of May? Mustache May?
Yeah, you had to
Omar?
have a beard early too, right, Brady?
Yeah, I had a beard early.
Like real early?
I
Freshman year?
shaved it though, but like
Yeah,
I could
like
have
freshman
one.
year? Yeah, same.
Should we have Brady shave his beard and Omar grow his mustache?
We need to come up with a like an accomplishment or bet.
Yeah.
Or like a dual accomplishment, right? Where Brady
loses, he has to shave his beard.
yeah, and he can't grow it back until he accomplishes
Some goal.
X. And then
Yeah.
he can't shave. Omar can't shave until he accomplishes X.
Let's put this out to the World Wide Web.
see what they got.
See what comes up with. If you guys hear this clip, shoot us a DM or drop a comment. We want to hear what it is that Brady has to accomplish.
I just
So
want
he can
to
grow his
say,
beard
guys,
back.
I'm in a relationship now, and my girlfriend
here
does
we
like my
go.
beard.
What's that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
She likes my beard.
You're saying
so-
she wouldn't like you if you didn't have a beard? Sounds like this is on the rocks.
Actually, if you are serious about this relationship and you want to like, right?
Yeah.
If she doesn't like you at your worst, she doesn't deserve you at your best.
Boom.
Ooh.
So let's test the
but both
waters
are
here.
best.
Let's test the waters.
Ooh.
Good.
What do you think she'd do if you just She showed up. You showed up. You're just clean shaven. Haircut. High and tight. Nice fade.
Wearing like a tie and a suit.
No, let's not get crazy. But
Okay, that's well. It seems like facial hair to me is crazy in my hair. This is my identity.
That should be a thing. Like if you don't do the mustache challenge, you do high and tight on the hair.
high and tight.
Remember the last time I shaved fully?
I do.
Was after
Yeah.
after I lost that big giant deer in Colorado. I was like, I had to get the bad juju off. I had a gnarly beard then.
Really?
Baby face.
And he did it right there in the hotel room,
hotel.
off the mountain, like in the motel room, like
Yeah.
the shitty motel room.
We literally went to. I think we went to Walmart and I bought
Yeah,
a
bought
razor. And then
It's in the closing credits of
Yeah.
that film.
that was the last time I went full baby face.
Well, we might have to bring it back. So leave us a comment. Let us
I did
know
have
what
a
it
six.
is.
I did have a 6 stash on the Instagram live we did the other day. I showed my mustache I had at one point.
You just had
Uh,
yours looks like it's trimmed up a little.
I trimmed it up when I got back from bear
It
hunting.
looks good. Brady's is always like well kept.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Mine gets a little scraggly and I got to go get it chopped up.
Yeah, same.
You always keep yours. like-
Yes.
I like to keep it nice.
Yes. Says Omar.
Omar's got to go see a barber. It's a little scraggly.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wanna
we're
see it
gonna-
trail with some wax though. Let's be real.
It'll get there. It'll get there.
I want to see that.
Are you going into hunting season with it?
I mean, I don't know. You never know. I might wake up one day and hate it and shave it. So we'll see.
I have noticed that about you.
Yeah. It kind of comes and goes. Yeah.
There's like no dates, no plan, no nothing.
No
Just
plan.
however
just,
you feel.
Just willy nilly. We're just whatever I'm feeling that
Where it
day.
feels good.
That's it. Well, it's good to have game gag. We got Omar on today. We're going to talk a little bit bear hunting. These
Yep.
guys just got back from bear hunting, so we want to hear a little bit about their trip. We're going to talk applications, how everybody's doing, and then just like a general bullshit session. That's hard to say. You think as much as I've practiced it in my
Oh, I can say bullshit with the best of them.
in my
I
life.
say it enough. I can. It just flows off the tongue.
Yeah. Before we dive in, we're gonna hit promo codes.
Okay.
We have a killer promo. I don't even think Lorenzo knows this.
I did. I read it on Slack.
You did?
Yeah. It is a killer promo.
You
Yeah.
should have snuck
I'm
it
all
out
for
there.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yep. So we have a special promo going on for the month of May. We're trying to get people to sign up with our promo code, which is podcast.
Yes.
We need more insiders to sign up with the promo code podcast. So in order to kind of promote that, put it out there, if you sign up for an insider account in the month of May with the promo code podcast, you're going to get $50 back into the Go Hunt Gear Shop, but you're also going to get entered for a chance to win a $500 gift card to the Go Hunt Gear Shop.
Dang.
$500.
$500. So you get 50 automatically when you use promo code podcast whenever.
Yep.
But incentivize it. Sign up in May.
Somebody's going to win a $500 gift card.
And I know exactly what I would do with 500 right now.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'd buy the 16 SIGs.
Zulus?
Yeah. I'd buy the 16s. And then I'd be a little over the 500 here, but I'd do the SIGs. And then I would do the Kinnetrek. I can't remember the name.
Oh,
Boots.
Oh, the new
ones.
boot?
Yeah. The new one. Yeah.
Have you tried that on?
No, but I want it.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it on. I just want it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that just reminded me. We'll get
What's
back
it
to
called?
I want to say it's not the Bridger. I'm
I
trying
couldn't
to think
remember.
of the name of it. Well, Cody, you looking it up?
Brady's rubbed off on me. I want to go clean classic leathers.
Yes.
He's rubbing off on me.
no.
Omar
Yeah.
will
It's
have
not
to
the
admit
Lorenzo I
later
know.
on. He
Yeah.
will say how dry were my boots all the time in our stream crossings and how soaked were your synthetics.
They were pretty soaked. But
Yeah.
when
I
you're
just-
trail hunting,
I mean, I've been wearing synthetics for a long time.
There's
Real long
something to
time.
be said about that. Just classic look of
Yeah, I
leather
want to
boot.
go back to the classic look.
I even
It's what feels right now.
before I left on the hunt, one of my favorite things that I love to do with a leather boot is I sit down on my couch, watching.
So classic. This
Where
is classic
is this
Brady right
going?
here.
I'm usually, watching some Game of Thrones or some Lord of the Rings just on repeat, the extended editions, of course.
Of course.
Oh
Before
my
I go
gosh, you're a nerd.
Director's cut.
Correct. I have collector's editions of Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Of course.
And I sit down with my leather boot. I sit down with my little boot conditioning, my little brush, and I go to town on conditioning my boots. One of my favorite things to sit there and just make my boot look horrible to really nice. And then when I get back from a hunt, I like to do the same thing to revitalize it again. And then I do it again before the hunt. So I keep that leather just looking good.
See, that's what I'm not going to do though. So we'll see how long the leather boot lasts.
It's just something I love. I love
the look of a classic leather.
Once you start getting
going back.
scars in that leather, it becomes it's like a living membrane, that leather in a way. Like I just want to revitalize it and just look
Yeah.
at those scars and remember oh, that was that time I went down that ab shoot and scarred.
I'm just trying to look cool. So I think it's a good look right
Yeah.
now.
What do you do with your boot? How you clean? You just water in a brush and then what?
Yeah,
Conditioner?
water in a brush first with a little bit of rag, and then I have whatever boot conditioning stuff. Like I think some Schnee's ones, or I can't remember what it is. I'm just leather conditioning.
Are you doing that before every hunt or
before every hunt? Right when I get back, especially if I'm
right when you get back?
Yeah, because like that's the thing though. A lot of people forget that point. And if your boots are really dried out and you go and set them in your garage, or they're caked down with like gumbo mud or any mud like that, that's going to eventually wear off that leather and make that leather not as waterproof anymore. And it starts to crack. Like if your boot gets really dry, the leather boot, it'll crack. And that's when people are like, oh, well, my boot's wet now. Well, take care of your boot.
Yeah, I
Take
don't
care of
know.
your boot like you take care of your clothes. Like you wash your clothes when you get back, right?
Are you sure you're in a relationship? You sound very single to me.
You sound like you got a lot
If
of
the
time.
first thing you're doing is cleaning your boots when you get home from a hunt, you sound very single. You're like, what can
That's a
I
good
do?
point.
I clean my boot.
That's a good point.
Nah. No, it is good.
I'm the exact opposite because remember that hunt we went on in February in
Oh
Mexico?
yeah. Are they still sitting there?
Still in my garage, sitting in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Haven't touched it. Don't want to touch it.
Is your
Don't even
garage
wanna think
is your
about
garage air conditioned?
Yes.
Okay, then it's okay. I was gonna say like it's one things I learned moving down here from Montana like now 11 years ago is never put anything you really want hunting wise in your garage because eventually they'll wear down. Like I used to put sleeping pads in there. That's why I think I have a lot of sleeping pad issues because like that
Oh, 100%.
everything starts breaking apart.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so don't store your hunting gear in your garage if you live in a hot environment.
That's where
like
it's at.
anything you want, like nice.
Yeah.
Like stoves are probably fine.
That's it. And even more so, we had a funny one happen on our elk hunt when we went to my hunt the next day. We got in super late and we didn't get there till like 3 a.m. Long story short, we slept in and then we heard a bull bugling, so we just up and went. Well, I didn't let out the air of my sleeping
mattress?
pad, and it was in the back of my truck. So I closed up the back of my truck and went off late on it that night. They thought a bomb went off. Are you okay? What's going on?
All the baffles just poof.
Yeah. I
Really?
was just laying there in the baffle, just boom.
Went.
Oh, not win. It was a
popped.
bomb.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rattled my ears
Wow.
because I was sitting in in my truck bed, so it like rattled off the sides.
Sure, yeah.
It was loud.
Yeah,
Even Cam
Neville's
came
always
over.
said that.
Cam got out of his tent, came over. You okay? Are you good?
He'd
In
hug.
his puffy pants.
Yeah, in his puffy pants the whole time.
Also remind me when we talk about the bear thing, I do have a really good Omar debacle.
We'll get there.
Just want to have you guys help me remind me about this. But it's a really
Okay.
good one.
Yeah, we'll get there. I wanted to ask you guys how your application season's going.
Really good.
How so?
Drew an Oryx tag.
So crazy.
I put it out there. That is the
You
difference.
manifested it?
I will. So, New Mexico, it's really weird. I have 2 stories here, and I'll make them quick. But joke's on you because I'm not capable of quick stories. So, 2012, I was like dead 12, 13. There was a new hunt, desert bighorn sheep hunt added to Nevada. I can't remember what it was. Don't remember the exact whatever. I went out scouting for desert sheep because I'm drawing this tag. So I went out there and was looking at sheep. This was in the spring, right? I mean, don't drop their horns, obviously. So I'm like out there looking. It was late spring, so I'm, glassing around water treatments and all this stuff, seeing some rams, everything. Come home, month later, drew a desert bighorn sheep tag in New Mexico.
Wow.
So I was just like, I had it that I was going to draw. I didn't draw the Nevada tag, but I drew the New Mexico one, right? Well, now Brady comes back with the Oryx.
Which the mount looks incredible.
I've never applied for him. He's telling the stories about the hunt, all this stuff, and the way they look, and then the mount in his office.
Yeah, it was literally the day I got the mount. You and
I'm
Calvin
like,
were both.
I'm taking this so serious. Like I really want to go after these things. This is so cool. Like
Yeah, we talked about it.
the way it looks, I'm starting to take it super serious. Like I really want to Oryx hunt. I want the meat. I want the way the animal looks on your pedestal, the whole thing. Month later,
Oryx
drew an Oryx
tag.
tag, New Mexico.
I think it was a week.
Was it a week?
Yeah, because I
Felt
recently
like
got
longer.
recently got it back. Maybe it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yeah,
Could've been 2
something
weeks.
like that. Then boom, drew an Oryx tag.
Are you willing to say like off range, on range? You want to say anything about it or not?
Off range.
Off range.
Yeah, I drew the October season off
Oh,
range.
October.
Yeah, drew a really good
That's
season.
gonna be really cool. hunt. Do you know what the temperatures are in October compared to when I went? Because I went in August.
Yeah, it's not going to be cold by any means, but it's going to be nice. It'll be really nice.
Very pleasant.
Yeah, it'll be 80s and
Ugh.
50s.
Because I remember on my hunt, it was 103 in the day I killed,
Yeah.
and then even at night, I swear it didn't get below like 95. Like you're sweating all night.
Yeah, depending on where we go, obviously too. Like it'll be, if it's crazy hot, it'll be probably 90, and if it's crazy cold, it'll probably be like in the 50s, low 50s.
Dang.
Do you guys know success rates? Is one better than the other? Summer seasons when it's hot, better, more successful, or
I don't know.
October?
It's a good
Do you know
question.
which one's
So,
better?
since we're here for the people, okay. The reason I went for the August one is has the best draw odds because it's
I thought
the
you went
hottest.
because it was hottest because you
'Cause the
like you
hottest.
like that heat,
I do like the suffer,
that hot heat.
but I was like, there's no one's going to be in the right mind want to hunt the August when it's just
Right.
miserably hot in the desert. That's why I picked that one. I don't know if there's a better time harvest success wise, but I just wanted odds, and so I picked the nasty time of year.
Do you know what choice you drew?
Second.
Interesting.
It's pretty crazy.
God, that's
Second
wild.
choice.
Anybody else have any luck in New Mexico?
Nope.
No.
Taxidermist Calvin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Calvin.
Drew as well.
And he said he manifested. He's like, dude, I put all that effort in your oryx mount and dropped it off to you, and then he drew as well. Like,
Yeah.
what are the odds?
It's what you put it out there, man. Just put it out there.
And it looks really good, that mount.
It's incredible.
Cool.
I just got
The
to
way
look at
these
it this
things
morning for
look.
the first time I saw it.
See the tail? I did too.
Yeah.
I had
Brady,
the tail
Brady had the
taxidermy.
It is
tail
awesome.
tan.
Because like you never shoot an animal with the tail, you know,
No.
like
No.
Have you
horse's
thought
tail.
about hanging that from the back side of the pedestal? So it's
Just
like
a
a little tail.
Yeah,
just
a little
hanging.
dimension to it.
You could use that for like pin the tail on the donkey for,
On the Oryx.
for your kid's birthday party.
There you go. On the
Coming
Oryx.
up
Hunter edition.
here in like what, 6 years?
Oh,
Just hey, we're manifesting right now, right? Is
My
that
kid's
the,
fifth birthday in 6 years.
we're putting it out there.
There we go.
Went out the
Does she
realm.
listen to the podcast?
yes,
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
yes. Oh boy, I'm going to hear about that one. But yes, she does.
It's been kind of a weird year though. It feels like a lot of the draws have been pushed back.
Yeah, they
So I haven't drawn anything. Not
Same.
yet. All reds for me in New Mexico.
Have I drawn anything?
Have you drawn anything?
No, I haven't drawn anything either.
Nothing yet.
I'm jealous of you guys because you got the dedicated tags, right?
Yeah, I have a dedicated hunter
it's
tag.
like-
Yeah,
in-
so I
in Utah.
have a tag already, but yeah, I didn't draw
I got to do
anything.
my hours, which is always a thing. Come summer, that creeps
Always
up
a
on me.
thing.
But I do have that tag. Hopeful for Colorado
Me too.
for elk, and then you got Utah. Utah draw results should be out within the next 2 weeks. I think like 15th, 16th. Is that right? Maybe
Yeah.
I think of May.
Yep.
It's
Isn't it
usually about
crazy?
the 18th of May.
Yeah.
Something
Isn't
like
it crazy though? There's some of these states that just push them out. Like you got Montana, like 2 weeks like,
Mhm.
written in there. Nevada's the same way. Like Utah, New Mexico, and then you have states
That take forever.
take forever,
Like Wyoming.
like Wyoming.
It's crazy.
This podcast won't go out until next Thursday, but you got Montana deadline for moose, sheep, and goat. You guys apply in Montana?
Not
Nope.
for moose, sheep, and goat.
No, I don't either. You, Brady?
Yeah, I'm well invested since I was a
Yeah, you
I was a
did it.
resident for
Yeah.
so long and
Yeah.
applying, and now as a non-resident I've been applying still. So I have a lot of points, and it's sad to look at my odds being a non-resident, and I look at the resident ones, what I would be at right now.
Yeah, but you
like,
could always move back.
I know,
You
that's the
what I mean?
greatest
And
thing,
you,
yeah.
a guy like you probably will
Yeah,
when you're
some
all
point.
said and done.
That's a
you know?
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like for that. I'm invested in it because there's always a chance. Like Wyoming, I never did because there was never a chance, and now there's definitely not a chance. So like that way, I'm okay as long as states don't change their system here.
Yeah.
I'm set up in
I
a
was
sense.
I was too busy on the combo deer elk tag and then waterfowl in Montana. Like I never even started with the sheep goat moose.
And I liked it back in the day too because you had to front
Yeah.
in Montana. That
Yeah,
weeded
it
out a
helped.
lot of people.
Yeah.
So I was at an advantage there early on. And
What's the point fee in Montana for this?
What's
It's a
what?
with a point fee? It's $100.
I think it's either $75.
I should know that off the
75
top
or
of my
100.
head.
I know I
but
should know
don't,
too.
'cause I
But
kind of gave up on it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
right.
I just even when I
know.
lived there, I knew it was going to be short lived just for school.
Yeah.
So I never got involved, and I just kept chasing
Yeah,
the combo tag.
$75 for a point.
that is the weird thing with some of these, because like Nevada, for example, you have mountain goat, right?
Yep.
So as a non-resident, there was a bunch of years there where you couldn't apply, didn't have enough tags. Now there is a tag, and there was a point system. So it's like, do you
Go back?
do
or does
you
it start over?
Well, and that's the thing is like Wyoming, for example.
Yeah.
I've pretty much said don't buy points. It's not worth it anymore because there's no chances you're ever going to catch the preference point pool
No
because there's
chance.
too many people in the system and they don't allocate any. They don't give your weight to any of the preference points that you have and any tags that would go random. So it's like, what the point of buying it? But any given year, they could say, okay, we're going to weight our
Change
point.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to weight our point system now. So now if you get 15 points, you get 15 chances in a random draw.
Yeah.
That's what I think about too. It's like, then do you buy it now hoping they change it later, and you're just
That's
you're just burning money and think it's a donation to conservation? Like,
That's me. I don't. I've been like, I'm going to save that $150 in Wyoming or whatever and put it towards something else. Probably dozen arrows, but
Dozen arrows that last about 4 days.
but it does make you wonder because they can change. I mean, things. I've been working on this mule deer committee, and I mean, we talked a lot about point systems, and you just never know.
You never know.
You don't know what could happen.
I had a question for you guys. So, like a guy my age, would you guys even recommend it? Because right now, my theory, my process is I only apply for those once in a lifetimes in my home state, which is Nevada now, and there's those certain states where there is a random chance, like Arizona for sheep, and that's where I would consider applying. And that's kind of my strategy right now. Like, would you guys even consider a chase a state like Montana or Wyoming, Colorado for that fact?
I mean, since you're like 12,
Yeah, you got a long
I would
time.
say I'd think about it pretty hard.
Yeah. We putting this out there for the people? Because what I would do is Colorado for sure, because they have the archery onlys.
They do have
They have
archery
the
only.
weighted, the point weight, and then they have archery only, which is going to help your odds.
But Colorado's interesting because you have to, I think, 3 years, right?
Yeah, but you're not going to draw a tag. I
Right.
mean, maybe you do, but like
So,
in 3
yeah.
years, who cares?
So it's a loaded question a little bit. It's a value judgment for you, and really anybody that's just getting started, whether you're like you're 27,
Yeah, I turned
yeah,
27 a couple weeks ago.
or if you're 12, for that matter.
13.
The chances that somebody that's just starting to apply for those species, regardless of where you apply, is like minuscule. Like you're probably never going to draw a tag for one of those species in your lifetime. It really boils down to what is your chance of potentially drawing like that, just like that 0.006% chance. What is that worth to you?
Yeah.
And you got to kind of look at it like buying a raffle ticket. Like, for example, Utah, if you buy a hunting license, $120 for non-resident, you're going to apply for general season deer, maybe limited entry elk, maybe antelope. And you're like, is it worth the $16 application fee to have some chance at Rocky Mountain goat or bighorn sheep? Because the chances you're ever going to build up enough points to ever draw one of those is like, it's not going to happen. Like you're just not going to catch the point creep. So it's just like a value-based judgment. Is my $16 worth it to have a chance?
Or do you think about the opposite way, and like all those fees you do to buy points, like $100 each species, $75 each species in Montana? Do you take that and put that in an investment fund?
That's what I would do.
And then try to build money and then just go buy something later on, like go on an audit hunt. Save money to buy an audit hunt. Save money to buy a coos deer hunt to actually eventually guarantee yourself a hunt. Where in some of these draws, you're never guaranteed, and you might never draw in your life. You're just burning that money every single year.
That's a good way to look at it, too.
So yes, absolutely. Your home state for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Nevada, you got better draw odds as a resident.
Just as a resident in Nevada, you should. It's a no-brainer if you're a resident in Nevada to apply for all of them.
Yeah. So I would say do that in Nevada, in your home state, and then kind of pick and choose where it makes sense other places, I mean, Colorado, you bring up Colorado, you do have to build 3 preference points before you really even end the draw.
Yeah.
So you're going to be $300 into it and 3 years. This is just like a tidbit. I'm going to throw it out to you guys. If you got kids, build them before they turn 18 because it's super cheap, and you can build up as many points as you can build until they turn 18. And at that point, you can decide whether to purchase the point or not, but they still apply. You can still apply, and they're in the draw, and you can build those points for way cheap. So, if you just started when you were, a year ago when you were 11, you'd be all right. But yeah, that's a little tip. But yeah, I mean, Colorado, it's a random portion of the draw. So you might think even desert bighorn sheep's a completely random draw in Colorado. And there's only one tag.
And then they have those archery onlys.
Which is a little bit better
a lot
odds.
of people out. There's not a lot of people with high points that are willing to go archery.
Right.
So it's...
Yeah. If I had to wrap it up with a bow, I would say, this is what I tell people, like if you apply in a state because you're also applying for other species like Arizona, I'm going to buy a hunting license because I'm going to apply for elk, I'm going to apply for deer, I'm going to apply for antelope. So I might as well throw for $15 my application in for bighorn sheep, just in the off chance that I might draw a tag.
Right.
So if there is a random component to the draw and you're already buying a hunting license to apply for other species, apply.
Yeah. It's like we were talking about on the drive home about, you have a hunting license in a certain state, like Idaho or whatever, and like you can go just apply for deer or
Yeah.
apply for the
Yeah.
sheep ones.
I mean, shit, you can't buy a hamburger combo meal at Wendy's anymore for $15.
Yeah, no
Like,
kidding.
You might as well just skip that and throw your $15 at a chance at drawing a sheep tag. I think it's a good
way to look at
trade-off.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that one for the peoples. That
For the
might be in
peeps?
my position.
Yeah.
Choose the one with a random drop
Yeah.
opportunity, and then when you're already applying for other species, it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Great way to look at
That's how I would wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Nevada's coming up,
it. Yes, it is.
so we should talk about Nevada real quick. You got a deadline of the 8th.
Yeah, May 8th, 11 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. I mean, being that we're a Nevada-based company, everybody's a resident. Are you guys close to drawing anything?
I mean,
Always have a chance.
define close to
I mean-
drawing anything in Nevada.
You got antelope points?
I've got a pile of
A pile?
of everything.
You gonna burn them?
I mean, I would
You'd like to?
I would like to, but in Nevada, that's the weird thing about Nevada being bonus point only is it doesn't really matter.
You can kind of play it. I mean, there are hunts that got
It's
better
tough
odds.
to play.
Yeah.
There's hunts with better odds for sure, but you can't ever say
not a
you're
guarantee.
Gonna, you can't ever say you're going to have the tag.
For sure. So if you got a bunch of points in Nevada, do you kind of swing for the fences as a resident?
Well, then the 5 choice thing too in
Yeah.
Nevada, with one pull out of the drum and it's all 5 choices looked at. Yeah, I fill out all 5 no matter what, and I swing for the fences first 2, and then kind of work my way back from there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Brady burned his.
I burned my elk
Maybe.
ones last
Maybe
year.
you did. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe you guys will see that.
Maybe he hunted Nevada. I don't know.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't know if that's
Does baby
considered
girl know where
burning
you
them
hunted?
either. I think that was the luckiest
She knows, to
shit
keep
ever.
it, she knows to keep it secret. Yeah.
We should do a little content piece where we just give her an interrogation, see how much she knows about you actually.
Yeah, she knows a
There we
lot.
go.
That'd be a fun
Let's
little,
get her on the podcast.
that would be a
and
fun
ask.
little content piece.
That would be.
We could expose to all the things that she doesn't know about you.
Yeah.
Where
No,
you
Nevada's always exciting as a resident. You know, it's always. But I mean,
Yeah.
last year I didn't draw a single tag though, like not a single one, and I'm sitting on a pile for every species.
Yeah.
Other than elk, I'm locked out. But
You know what's funny about Nevada as a non-resident? So I live in Utah, non-resident. I work here. Everybody, that works here out of this office, they're all residents, right, of Nevada. And prior to working here, I looked at Nevada as like, I'll check the results when I get to it. I didn't draw anything. I'm certain of it. So it's like, whatever, I'll get to it when I get to it. And most people there where I'm from that apply in Nevada, they don't think that they're going to draw a tag in Nevada because it's pretty damn tough, right? But since working here, it is always really funny to check, like hop on Slack on
Nevada
result day,
Yeah.
because inevitably somebody here in our office
We'll
has
have
drawn a
something.
great tag.
yeah, somebody will have something.
Yeah. And that's always been kind of fun. It's kind of changed my perception a little bit of Nevada. It's
Yeah.
great. It's a pretty decent state to be a resident and actually to apply for a draw
It's
tag.
honestly a great state for a resident. It's awesome.
I'm a max point holder in Nevada.
For what?
U. Desert U's. I've just bought points. I've never actually gone
Now
into a
you're,
draw.
you're at the max level.
I'm a max point holder, so it's kind of cool.
I was going to
I'm a
say
max
like
point holder in some
ptarmigan.
state.
What are we talking
what
here?
are we doing?
Yeah, so maybe this year
Snowcocks,
I'll
what are we
toss my app
talking
in.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll toss my app in for you finally. So just build
Yeah.
points because I'm like, like we're talking about, might as well build it and eventually, if I want to actually try to draw it.
Yeah.
But
I think somebody's going to draw a sheep tag in Nevada this year. I'm just going to throw it out there right here.
Everyone's eyes went to me when
I
you
did.
said that.
I feel it. I think somebody's going to do it this year.
Feel it in my plums.
So, I feel it in my plums.
Oh man, please! I would love.
I think it's going to happen.
love to.
Yeah.
You know what I really want to hunt in Nevada?
What?
It's just like a gnarly backpack deer hunt. And there's some cool spots. I've been talking about you guys about it.
There's a few options.
I just always hear those classic stories about got stuck in this thunder lightning storm, high country Nevada. I don't know, that sounds fun. Being
Yeah.
far away from the
there's a lot
truck.
of good classic spots in Nevada you could do.
Is that what you're
there's
looking
a
to
few
apply for
spots.
this year?
I probably won't.
Why?
You want it, but you
You're
won't.
not a resident.
want
I know. I got a Arizona over-the-counter deer tag. Hopefully I draw an elk tag in Colorado.
You're a Nevada resident.
I would throw that Arizona deer tag in the garbage if you
In 2
drew
seconds.
if you drew a Nevada deer tag here in your home state archery.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Especially on a
this is
year
the
like
conversation
this
I
is-
needed, boys.
this
Dude,
is
you
gonna
can always hunt on a year like
in
this.
December.
This is a
You should
12-year-old mindset.
If you can have a Nevada deer tag in your pocket, I think you should have one this year.
I agree. And you're a resident. Why would you? This
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes
this is
no
turning
sense.
out to be a pretty decent year.
We're basically developing your app strategy here.
Here we go. I love this.
You writing notes down? You have a notepad right there.
Yeah.
All mental.
Oh, that's how young kids forget things these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, draw a Nevada deer tag. You should archery deer tag.
All
Look at
right.
he's writing it down.
He is writing it down.
Better opportunity than Arizona OTC for sure.
Yeah.
In August,
much better hunt.
No.
Much better hunt.
Unless you want to go hunt coos deer on water or something like that. But
Doesn't sound too fun.
yeah. I've been working. I sent you Wyoming deer
yeah.
and antelope application strategy. I think I was either telling you or Lane, I was talking to about it. They were like, "Oh, how's it going? You excited? Looking forward to it?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm like not usually depressed when it comes to applications, but that was a tough application strategy to write because the situation for deer is so dire
Explain.
in Wyoming. Not good. Just that winter of 22-23 was so rough.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, 50% potential mortality on adults, and then as much as like 95% on fawns. So any deer that did make it, I guess if there is a silver lining, it's that any deer that did survive are going to come out of that winter last year and then consequently this year because they've had a pretty mild winter and pretty good body condition. But really where it gets kind of depressing is you start looking at extrapolating that population out over the next 4 or 5 years. Like you're basically missing an age class. It's going to take some time to rebound.
How long do you reckon?
Like 10 years maybe, potentially.
Mm-hmm. And then look at all the people who are probably going to be saving their points too.
That's the other weird thing is looking at the draw odds for deer and antelope that post 2022-23 season, like for 2020, the 23 draw. Man, weird. People did weird things. Weird things.
Yeah.
Like the difference between special and regular got real weird. I mean, it's just a bizarre draw. So I don't know. Last year was just kind of an anomaly as far as draw odds and draws go. So it'll be interesting to see what this year looks like. I think more people are going to jump back in. I think a lot of people will probably continue to buy points, but it really leaves, like when I looked at that, it leaves a lot of people that are kind of in that middle tier for points. I would say like anywhere from 8 to 10, 12, kind of leaves them in a weird spot. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you do?
Yeah. And then I'm looking at your article right now. The Google Doc you sent me, tag cuts in G and H.
Mm-hmm.
G, they cut tags 37.5% in 1 year, and they cut them the year before. Like,
yeah, it's down. It's kind of in a rough spot. It's interesting because I looked at it. You always, I try to be optimistic about, where is the silver lining in it. So if there is silver lining, it's that there are still pretty good hunts for the guys that are like high point holders, right? So you still have really good hunts in like a 130. There's some options for guys 101, 102, like for max point holders. There's still nice little pockets where you're going to have a good deer hunt. And then at the other end of the spectrum, guys with 0 to maybe 5 or 6 points, you're not really out that much if you decide and you've got options. Like you can draw tags and you can go and have a pretty decent hunt. You're probably not going to kill the buck of a lifetime unless you've spent some time scouting and putting into that effort. But if you just want to go up and hunt, there's definitely less bucks on the landscape. But if you want to go have a chance at just an average buck, they're there. So you're kind of in a decent window there as long as you understand that's your expectations going into that. It's those guys that are kind of like middle tier, which is where I'm at. I'm like 10 points, 11 points, I think.
No man's land right now.
No man's land. It's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the tag stuff, though, sorry to go back to Nevada, but we got the proposed tag quotas. And which I don't agree that they're proposing an overall increase, even through the rifle and all that stuff with where our deer herds are at. However, they are increasing a lot of the primitive tags, which they should have done a while ago.
Really?
Just because of harvest success and how hard it is to kill with primitive weapons in Nevada with how open the country is. But those tag quotas are like up, which they should be. I like that those tags are up.
Yeah.
So you're going to have more opportunity with bow and muzzleloader really, but bow specifically, with an increase in tag quotas, especially to resident.
Nice.
And then, the overall increases, that's another story. Been talking to a few commissioners about it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
well, I don't think I've leaked to Lorenzo yet what we're doing on Monday.
Have you leaked it to me?
Well, maybe I just leaked to you earlier after I got off the phone with Endow.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, like this podcast, I guess, is going to go after the one that's going to come. We're going to have a bonus episode. Mm-hmm. So I guess we're done talking to a guy at Endow, and we're going to have 2 biologists on the podcast on Monday.
Love it.
They're going to be remote, and so we're just going to do a remote podcast.
Who is it?
The biologist.
Yeah, who are we having on?
Let me pull it up here real quick.
It'll be just kind of a nice little bonus episode. We can talk Nevada prior to the draw.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got Cody McKee, staff specialist for moose and elk,
Yeah.
And then Cody
Moose.
Schroeder, staff specialist over deer and antelope.
Perfect. Awesome.
So we're talking about state of Nevada. And the cool thing is, too, that's going to be right after the commission meeting that's happening this week. So we'll
Perfect.
have all the set quotas, and we're going to ask them any
Because
questions.
it'll be
They're gonna
set
talk
this
about-
Friday, right? It's all being set this Friday.
Yep. Right now we have proposed, but we'll get all the latest and greatest information. Then we're going to release it right away as a bonus episode so that you guys can do some extra research using that podcast for your app. Because Nevada's really nice because you can change your app throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. So you can modify it throughout it. That's why I always look at the proposed quotas, look at the set quotas, and change things after I apply.
Look at you two.
Look at
Just-
us.
Just look at you guys.
So that was
Send
really
this
cool.
For the people.
For the people.
Yeah, Wyoming antelope though, not nearly as dire.
No.
Yeah, the other good thing about antelopes, they tend to rebound really quick. They're prolific.
3 year.
Yeah.
Right? Aren't they on? Isn't 3 year like their
Yeah.
cap? Their top end.
As far as trophy potential goes, yeah. I mean, they can grow horns like they're kind of maxed
Fast,
out. Yeah, pretty quick. But then just population wise, like the number of fawns they produce, they're prolific. They're much hardier. I say hardier, but they reproduce easier than like a mule deer. So
That's good news.
I was actually surprised that there were some increases actually in Wyoming, and I don't think they got hit as hard in some portions of the state as they thought they did. So it felt like some of those tag cuts were like preemptive for last year, and those tags have kind of come back in some areas. So I think this year would be a great year for Wyoming antelope. So if you're if you held out last year and you just bought a point, I would take a hard look again at Wyoming for antelope. I think it'd be a good year for horn growth.
Some good info
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. You play in Wyoming for antelope?
Oh, yeah.
You're an antelope guy.
Absolutely.
You probably
kidding me?
got a boatload of points,
I
huh?
got a ton of points.
Yeah.
I'm chasing something.
All right.
I got a lot of points as well.
Do you?
Yeah, double digits.
I haven't heard either of you talking this year about antelope much.
Because I'm kind of scared.
Well, I'm
You're
I
scared
have a lot of
antelope?
points in different states. No, just scared of like winter kill and stuff like that. What it did to antelope herds. If I want to go burn double digit points on an antelope, I want a good
On a banner
antelope.
year.
Yeah, I want a good hunt, good year, a lot of population. Go through
Well, you
with
can
the
look at
goats.
that two ways. I mean, you could look at it this year as being like any antelope that survived are going to be in pretty good body condition.
Yep.
They've had a pretty mild winter year, this year.
And they start their home growth
And
in
then,
December.
any tag cuts that they cut in 23, that's just less people in the field for 24.
Correct.
If they
I thought about
remain,
it.
it's a lot less pressure.
But I also need to
More
I also need to
carryover, yeah.
party up and carry my dad in too, though. My dad has a little few less than me, so I need to get a
What
little
a
bit
nice
higher
son.
to get us both in.
What a nice
So just
son.
because your dad carried you all those years, you feel like you need to carry him.
Yes, I need to
Is that what it is? Give back?
I need to give back to my father. Yes.
Yeah. That's my retirement plan. My kids just like go make that money and let's
And
take
then
care of Papa.
Let's take care of Dad.
use all our points to get dad a tag. Use all the
Yeah.
time for us.
I've been buying them points forever. I'm going to piggyback their points.
Heck yeah.
We also
That's
have
what a good dad does right there.
we also have Washington and Oregon coming up.
What?
Now I know, right?
Who?
It's like
Who?
yeah.
Never heard of him.
No, it's really funny about Washington. So Nathan Bear in our office here, who lives in our remote office up in Wyoming, but he always writes the app strategy for the states. And in his app strategy, again, he has to write the little explainer or little asterisk thing at the top that Washington still hasn't produced a draw odds report since 2022. So 2022, we haven't had it. 2023, now 2024, we have not been able to have draw odds because Washington, do they hate hunters? Is that
I
accurate?
mean,
Is that
I'll
accurate?
full blown full stop say it. Yeah, they don't like hunting.
Yeah,
And
so
they're
it's
not
like it
supporting
makes me question, like, is there some scary
Calculator?
things going on with the calculations of their odds, and they don't want to release
what
the
do you guys
numbers?
think about them reintroducing Grizzlies
We're going to talk
Crazy.
about it today.
into Washington? Oh, you're talking about it today?
We're going to release something on it. What? That'll go out Thursday?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not a fan. I mean, just
Yeah.
pretty easy answer for me. Not a fan.
Yeah.
In what regard are you not a fan? I was curious about that. So I was driving down today. I was thinking about it, and I knew it would probably come up. But in what regard are you not a fan? I mean, can you expound on that? Does the question make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of reintroducing an animal that's not struggling. Just at the base value, right? Like
Right.
the animal's doing extremely well where the animal is. So, like, what is the need to just bring him a top end predator like that with a state that already struggles with predator management? Because I mean, they got wolves. There's a lot of weird things going on with cats right now. They already lost their spring black bear season, and there's pressure on the fall black bear season now. It's like now you're going to introduce just the alpha predator in there as well, when there's a reason why they're not there in the first place. Like they've been pushed to the areas where they're doing well, and this is over thousands and thousands of years, right? Of human expansion and like Washington isn't what it was when they were there.
Yeah.
So now why are we going to put them back on the landscape when
it wasn't what it was.
When it
That's
wasn't
the
what it
biggest
was.
thing I think a lot of people miss the boat on is human expansion right now in all these places. Like we can't.
It's the variable that everyone seems to not pay attention to that is absolutely the single biggest variable to look at.
Yeah.
Like when you start cutting through mountainsides and, you know, putting highways and you got all kinds of fences and water changes, all kinds of stuff, right? And it's like, okay, all that happened. We can't pretend like that didn't happen. There's a reason why the ecosystem there is sustained right now with how it's supposed to be sustained because of all of the changes that humans have put on the landscape. So now we're just going to bring back the alpha for all the prey animals.
And if we have, and there's still potential for natural expansion. Like you can have stuff come down from Canada. Like that's
and
totally
I'm all
okay.
for natural.
I
think
there
natural
has been.
expansion's awesome. I think one of the coolest stories is a jaguar that comes up through Arizona every year or every so often. Like
Let it happen
natural expansion
naturally.
is pretty
That's
cool.
fine.
I like that.
Yeah, I wrestle with it. It's interesting because as you think about reintroductions or expansion, so like we have wolves that have been reintroduced to Colorado, right? They were kind of already leaking in them on their own. Then we release more, right? We've kind of reintroduced them, and then you think, you know, Washington grizzly bears. We're going to put grizzly bears back in, and like I've been kind of wrestling, like how do I feel about just those species existing in that state, and like how do I feel about it? Do I feel good about it? Do I feel bad about it? I think it's not that like they're there that bugs me. It's that like we have really no means to regulate them in the long run or manage them.
If you're going to bring them in, then fully define how we're going to manage them as well.
Yeah, fully define it if they are going to be there. But then, I mean, I'll just say it. There is a part of me, a pretty big part of me actually, that I'm just like, I don't really want them there. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with grizzly bears. So, like, if they were going to reintroduce...
if you think about it in the back of your head, it's because it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, if you look at it from an ecosystem biological level, like, it just doesn't make sense to bring them back to a place where they're not there naturally.
Yeah.
And they're not struggling. Like, they're doing extremely well.
I just think, like, if they were to reintroduce grizzly bears to Utah, right? We don't have any grizzly bears in Utah, but someone was like, hey, we're going to reintroduce grizzly bears. And I thought about it, and I was like, would I mind, you know? I mean... I don't want them. I just don't want to deal with them. I don't want to have to deal with when I'm hunting, and I know that's probably people are gonna. This probably.
But the same thing. You say you don't want to deal with when you're hiking, when you're camping, you're taking your family out on a fishing trip, camping at this lake.
You're adding a huge variable here.
Yeah, this will probably raise some red flags for people that grow up with bears. You know, Alaskan. You know, Montana, Wyoming, parts of Wyoming.
The landscape and prey animals of Alaska can support a grizzly bear.
Sure.
That's why they're there. That's why, why they're doing extremely well.
I just mean like from purely just like a human experience. Like, I just don't want to deal with grizzly bears. I don't know. It's probably because I grew up where I grew up. You know, I'd probably feel differently if I lived in Montana and had them my whole life. But
would you though? Because it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Ecosystem. It just doesn't make sense. It's not. Washington isn't what it was.
Yeah. I just hear a lot of people be like, oh, it's not that I'm opposed to those animals existing on the landscape. I like them. You know, we just want a means of regulating them. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I really actually like them that much.
I think
there's a part of me that feels that way.
Obviously the most badass animal on planet Earth. Like they are, they're insane.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why you don't want to deal with them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably get blasted for that, but it is kind of where I go back and forth, which is why I asked.
It's just, on a personal level, I go back and forth on it as well, just like you. But I mean, I don't look at it from the personal level, look at it from the ecosystem level. Like it just doesn't make sense. Why? Like, what is the purpose of this? How does this make sense?
I mean, there were people that would argue that there is definitely a reason that, you know, if you would,
I would say, why aren't they there now?
Yeah.
I mean, the grizzly bears are a couple 100 miles north? Like, if that, in Canada right there?
Yeah, Vancouver.
Like, why aren't they there? It's because Washington isn't what it was. It doesn't support them.
Look at the state flag of California.
Exactly.
When are they going to toss them there?
Well, look at all the humans in California.
Exactly.
California isn't what it was when they were there.
Also look at it as like a economic standpoint, right? Like that part of Washington has so much tourism and the Cascades too. Like, what are the people not going to go there anymore because of grizzly bears? And there's going to just be a downfall in economic.
No,
benefits.
you're going to have some.
You'll have people get mauled.
You're going to have some blue hair speaking nonsense about world foreign policy while they're hiking a trail to their other purple-haired friend, and then try to take a picture and pet a grizzly bear, and it's not going to end well.
Yeah, you'll have some maulings eventually.
Yeah.
Probably not all that long. Especially it's like Wyoming grizzly bears every fall. There's going to be incidents,
Someone,
right? So you're
yeah.
gonna have somebody get mauled, somebody get killed, unfortunately, and like those bears don't really have any fear of humans. They've not been hunted.
Oh, they don't fear humans.
Yeah, they don't fear.
I've had multiple run-ins.
Yeah, they don't really care. So
Those things scare the shit out of me. It's like a great white shark on land.
Yeah, land sharks.
Yeah.
They're literally land sharks.
yeah,
Yeah, I've had multiple run-ins. I've had a run-in every sheep hunt I've ever been on up north, except this last one I went on. And that's just because I went middle of October.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I didn't run into them this time. But all the other ones I've ever been on, I've had like very intimate interactions with grizzly bears.
I've never seen one. I don't really want to either.
Yeah.
I mean they're cool.
Yeah, I respect them, but I don't let it like impact my life in a sense. Like I still want to go to cool places, but I have to know that I'm going into a dangerous place. But respect, but don't fear it. So I'm not living my own life.
I actually had a question exactly on that thread right there. A question raised to me. I had somebody ask me because I go to Mexico a lot, right? And Mexico there's things that happen down there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Chupacabra.
there's things. Chupacabras with machine guns. I had somebody ask me, would I rather hunt in Wyoming where it's just like absolute bear country, or hunt down in Mexico where chupacabras with machine guns? Somebody asked the question. I actually thought it was a pretty good question because weighing both sides of it. I Mexico for sure.
You feel safer? Or what is it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe because I've hunted with grizzly bears in Canada. I haven't done it in Wyoming, but I've done it in Canada. Like I said, 4 times now, and had like very intimate interactions with them. I don't know. I've dealing with people in Mexico seems, obviously the people we're talking about don't necessarily have like the best people skills, to say the least. But I don't know. I feel a lot more comfortable thinking about just the Mexico thing than going and pitching a tent up with a bear fence and right on the border of Yellowstone, in Wyoming.
Same.
To me, it's a little bit, it's not really even, all the safety side of things is like a precaution. You can deal with it, right? Like you can deal with your fear, and, people ask questions like, what do you do in grizzly bear country? Well, you just got to be that much more bear aware, right? Like you can deal with it. But to me, like the reintroduction or the reestablishment of apex predators, if you will, to me, the bigger issue is just like a loss in opportunity to hunt.
That's where I'm coming from.
That's where I'm coming from, is like, I just, you reintroduce wolves to Colorado, you're going to see some impact to your elk herds. You're going to see a major impact to your moose herds.
No shit. Yeah. That's where I'm coming from, is that Washington just can't support it. There's a reason why they're not there now.
Yeah.
And I do realize how bad my answer is on the Mexico grizzly thing. That was a shitty answer. So I don't know why. I just feel more comfortable in Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. To me, that's the thing. It's like, I kind of lament the, loss in opportunity.
Yeah.
Which is very human of me. But,
I was reading earlier too, and they were talking about how a lady in Billy, she was like a rancher in Okanagan, which is a city up there in northern Washington, was talking about how they already have wolves and they're a problem, and they don't manage those, and now they're planning on bringing grizzlies in, and that's going to cause another problem for cattle and stuff. So part of me is also too, like, those grizzlies don't just live on that mountain. You put them on, they're going to come down, get food. Like,
They got to support themselves somehow.
Exactly. And they're going to be in, cities and stuff, and these
they'll just stay up there and starve to death.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have a will to live. They're just going to sit there.
Yeah. They won't figure it out what's innate in them.
Yeah.
in their DNA.
Can I toss another curveball out there?
I love curveballs.
What about the other introduction of woolly mammoths to Wyoming? Company.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? I'm curious.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I saw that one the other day pop up.
I love dinosaurs. So a company, Colossal Sciences, has announced plans to bring back extinct woolly mammoth by 2028 to Yellowstone National Park.
I think it's stupid.
Stupid. We can't manage our own wildlife that we have now, so we're going to bring in a super animal that's just going to consume all the vegetation there for the other animals that we have. And then if we introduce these things, there's going to be further laws on. Can't go near them. What if I sneeze? If I sneeze, it's going to kill the fucking boy. I mean, like, what's going on here? Like,
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Jurassic Park? I mean, you know what happens when we do this stuff?
When you start doing crazy shit, like what are we doing? Like, you got to define the other side of these things at the same time as you define, okay, we're actually going to do it. Right?
Well, while I do think, Trail, because you asked my opinion, it would be pretty cool to see a dinosaur. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it wouldn't.
Let's put them on. Let's figure out
Watch
this
a movie.
Let's watch the movie. Let's figure out the wrong. Let's
Jurassic
find a
Park.
secure
Go
island.
to a natural history museum.
Yeah.
I don't really. You would really geek out if
No,
you.
I think it kind of would be cool, but again, not in Yellowstone, not in a populated area or a place where there's tourism and all that. Like, let's find some way let's build something in the sky. Like, I don't know. Let's make something so it's so totally safe. Like, I don't know.
on the moon.
On the moon. Yeah,
I see it as like we can't support that with the ecosystem that we have, right? So it's like, okay, the woolly mammoth went extinct, right?
For a reason.
No
one knows.
Things happen. Everything happens for a reason, so they say. So it's like, okay, now we're going to bring it back, and now all the other animals are going to go by the wayside because we're bringing this one back.
Yeah,
like,
think of the bison population.
How does that fare to the ones that are here now?
Yeah.
Like, well, how does that work?
I don't really even understand the logic of why you would want to do that.
Because people love to do crazy shit.
Yeah, you want to do crazy things. You want to play God.
So weird.
People love to do crazy shit.
I mean, a giant hairy elephant walking around.
It's never
Saber-toothed tiger. Should we bring that back?
It's never enough for humans.
Yeah, American cheetah. What else we got out there that we can bring back? I mean, why not, right?
T-Rex while we're at it.
No, that's a heart.
But I mean, yeah, like seeing that when I got back, I was like, wow, like they're really thinking about this, aren't they? I follow a couple of those pages too, and I know they've
they're putting them in Siberia though, for sure, right? Like that's a done deal.
What in the world?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Siberia is like a done deal.
It's crazy to think about though.
I don't get it.
Me either. Like, how about we focus on the ones that are here?
Yeah,
and make it better for them.
Yeah, or just making the lives of humans better in general, like taking all that effort to fix other things we have going wrong in every country that we're dealing with and every habitat.
Oh, like the homeless in San Francisco? Why would we focus on that?
Yeah, let's focus on all that
That's
stuff.
a whole business. People are making money on that one. I guess they're going to make money on that's the motivation here too. Is, I mean, they're
think of the cost.
They're going to make money on it if they do this.
Maybe they're going to make a miniature woolly mammoth. Maybe we just make like a little pony.
A little mini?
Like a mini pony?
Yeah, a little pony woolly mammoth.
Do you bring them into the backcountry?
Packer?
Yeah, as a packer.
Have a string of woolly mammoth packers.
I did see that. That is a weird one. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. That'd be really interesting to see.
By 2028.
You can't
that's not too far away, guys.
But you can't actually think that's going to happen. There's
got to
way.
be laws against that, right?
There's no way.
They are bringing back the woolly mammoth. Full stop, 100%. There is
Omar's like,
I'm here for
you're
it.
into it?
There is its closest living relative is this like the antelope with the big hanging nose up there in Siberia or somewhere crazy. Obviously not here. It's like very closely related to the woolly mammoth. So they're going to take that DNA and do some.
It's creating viable hybrid calves of mammoths and modern elephants. That's what they're going to do.
Well, they got to use this antelope thing too. It's an antelope with a bulbous nose. That's what I read. That's all I remember.
Interesting.
Omar's into it. I can tell.
And all I could think about is I would really like to hunt the antelope with the bulbous nose.
That's what I was just
thinking. They're not in a good place. There's like very limited left.
What's the mammoth weigh, Brady?
I should know.
You should? Why?
You're very into this.
I read
No, that's your first reply.
I do. I read this stuff all the time. I have books at home about dinosaurs.
I should know.
I literally recently subscribed to Apple TV Plus just so I can watch whatever it's called, the Prehistoric Dinosaur Show, and it's like 3 seasons, and I'm just blown away. I watched them like 4 times now. I literally watch that all the time. I
Screaming single once again.
it says
Yeah, Saiga.
A saiga. And they're in Siberia?
Looks like a Star Wars character.
They're wild looking.
So here it says Colossal intends to alter elephant iPSCs to carry mammoth DNA, then grow a mammoth elephant hybrid in artificial wombs or elephant surrogates. The result will be a living animal that physically and genetically resembles the extinct woolly mammoth. Well, hope you get consent from that other elephant to carry that.
We're in the Matrix for sure.
Dude, we are in the Matrix. This shit is crazy.
This is wild. Yeah, I don't get it. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, what is that? Yeah. I mean, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Humans don't seem to play by that rule
No,
very
good.
often, especially the humans that are motivated by the money.
Would you feel differently, Brady, if you could hunt one?
No.
No. You don't want to hunt
I
a
don't
woolly
think I
mammoth
want. I don't think I want to. Just like I don't really.
with a Clovis spear point and a loincloth? You're not into that?
That's how I hunt bears.
That's yeah, let's talk bear hunting.
Yeah.
Should we talk bear hunting?
Bears.
And we'll talk about why I'm never going spring bear hunting.
Yeah, let's talk about bears.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
So you got
Which bear is best?
yeah.
False. Black bear.
Black bear. Well, there's actually two schools of thought.
Yeah, that is funny how you feel very differently about a grizzly and a black bear.
Yeah, I love black bears. Love them.
So you guys just got back?
We got back. We survived. Well, at least we think we survived.
So far.
Time will tell.
Is this Omar's second rip?
Second
This is
rip.
the second.
Third rip, actually. I did go on 3 black bear hunts in 1 calendar year. I went with
Wow.
the P and Wild Boys in Washington.
Big bear guy.
Big bear guy, I guess.
How'd that compare to this bear hunt?
These are always.
Are we letting the
best.
cat out of the bag? Are we saying how you did? I mean, you already posted pictures, right?
I
did.
haven't posted one yet.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, Omar killed a bear.
Yeah.
So
Omar.
you're 2 for 2 hunting with Brady,
Yep.
but 0 for 1 with the P and Wild guys.
That
You-
was
you missed.
me. Yeah, that was
You missed.
100% me.
Oh dang! I was
I
trying to throw
got
some
the
shade.
text immediately.
Oh really?
It was a miss, a bad miss.
Yeah,
Oh, Omar.
it was a bad one. It was a bad debacle, but we've been on a good string the last couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our second annual, taking Omar, and like I said, he's no longer young Omar after that trip.
He's still young.
The first one was Savage. This is like my favorite place in the world, like where I go hunting. I just love this country. I absolutely love it. It just eats you up.
Croatia.
Yeah, Mexico.
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 I wanted to ask you about timing. So you went earlier this year, right?
What?
Oh, was that when I was supposed to ask that?
We can't even
Did I
talk about
get that
timing.
memo?
The spring
We can't
bear
even
hunting.
talk about timing.
Timing's
I thought we were here for the people.
Timing's an interesting thing. Okay, I'll put this out there right now. I've killed bears in April. I've killed bears in May, and I've killed bears in June. I've killed bears June 15th, the last day of the Montana season, the last hour before.
Brady's a
I've-
big bear guy.
I've seen bears in every single time period you go. There's just different strategies you have to utilize to find bears during different times of year.
So why did you choose the time that you chose?
I was looking at snowpack analysis, like real-time Sentinel snowpack maps,
Sentinel.
and tracking snowpack,
Mm-hmm.
tracking what I could potentially see the mountains losing some snow and the areas we were at getting no snow, and comparing that to other years I've also hunted bears. So I track everything. Like I always say, when you're going out hunting, it's all about, it's not like we always talk about, GOHUNT is a hunting tool. GOHUNT app. It's not a mapping app. It's not a navigational tool. I think most people use their apps as navigational tools. I'm out there to collect data. I'm out there to hunt an animal, but I'm out there to collect data. So every time I see an animal, you guys know, I mark it down. Deer, elk, cow, like elk, whatever it may be, bear, I'm marking animals. So I have a giant library
Woolly
now.
mammoth.
Woolly
Woolly
mammoth
mammoth.
eventually. So I'm developing this data
Land
set.
shark.
The more times I
Land
go out,
shark, yeah.
and yeah, every time I go out, it's only a sample size of 1, but now I have more sample sizes throughout the year that I'm hunting. And if I had other friends, we could maybe collaborate on to get more data, which I don't like doing that too, because I'm very, singular and like all my stuff hidden where I go. But you collect more data with your buddies, you can eventually start extrapolating all that information and get really good intel on where animals are at during certain times of year and when might it benefit you to actually go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of looking at green up. I'm kind of looking at weather conditions. I'm looking at, okay, if it's going to be earlier, the snow's not going to be melting as much, so these streams aren't going to be blown out as well. So we can actually go savage and get further where some of these streams before would block us. Yes, we do have a raft, and that'll help too, but there's still some dangerous places that you can't cross. So trying to use snow melt to then get further up into some of these basins where I think, hey, these bears just are living their lives. No one's ever sees them. Like I guarantee you, places we hunt, these animals never see humans. And so I'm just utilizing that and I tried to go a little bit earlier this year just to figure it out based on what I've seen before, based on what I've seen green up this year, based on what I look at the weather patterns, everything I've been tracking, rainfall, sunlight, everything.
Are you pretty confident that you're going to see bears
Yeah,
based on the research you've done?
yeah, for sure. And like I said, though, too, the caveat is I know I could go in May. I know I can go in middle of May. I know I can go in June and find them, but the tactics of hunting are going to be different because as that snow starts melting, those bears are going to go higher and higher up in the mountains too, which can be very beneficial. And some areas too, if you go too early, you get impacted by road access as well. So you have to think about that. And so that's why, I'm looking at satellite or, like webcams and stuff like that, trying to figure out, hey,
What kind of webcams, Brady?
what kind of webcams? Well, the ones on ski resorts,
Oh, no.
road highways.
Oh, I was thinking about
yes.
other live
Yes, yes.
webcam.
Yes. So
Making
you're
sure.
utilizing all that data. You have to understand, like I said, you might not be able to get into an area based on road conditions because it could be snowed in still. And so that's why sometimes you go later, but sometimes those areas don't get green till later. So it depends on the area or state you're hunting too. That's why you can't just say, oh, Brady went this time, it's going to be a great bear hunt time. Well, it might not be in the same area you're going, but if you start collecting all that data, start analyzing all the snowpack maps.
So let me ask you, if you're just a regular person and you got to ask for the days off of work and you're going to pick the days
Middle
like-
to end of May.
middle to end of May. Got it.
I think,
But if you got a chance to choose, you can kind of do what you're doing, monitor everything, say
Yeah.
like, okay, this is the peak window for where
Yeah.
I want to be and when.
and I still don't know. I don't think I went in peak either. I think right now would be still good. The next week would be still good as well. It also kind of worked with the calendar. We had, Cam Haynes event we were going to go to, and then that got moved around. So I had to bump all my stuff up, but I was still really confident when we went, and then the Cam Haynes thing got moved. So we could have changed it. But I think when you go at middle of May, you can see more bears. Because I think still if you go early, you have the opportunity to bears still could be denning. You still could have some of these bears. And yes, typically boars will come out of the den early or then sows. But you still could have some bears, just for whatever reason, a bear could decide to den up longer or wherever he's at, based on snowpack or year conditions. So if you go later, you can see more bears. Some areas in the west too, you go later, you can get more green up, like I said, because you'll have that snow melting in your area. But then if you start going too late, then you get tons of green areas too, and then the bears can just go anywhere. Where earlier they're kind of limited to those little green pockets or little tiny areas where there's a lot of veg, so those bears might hold there, and then they're lethargic too, coming out of their den. So that could be beneficial. Because then you see that bear, you're going to see that bear the next day. Probably going to see that bear the next day. Where I've hunted later in June, where you see a bear, like shit, we got to go right now to kill that bear because we probably won't see that bear tomorrow because there's so much green. And then they start to rut too. So then they're starting to cruise around looking for those sows, which then can be very beneficial because you're seeing more bears as well. You're seeing bears being moving. And then if your bear's moving, you can see them. Where I think when we were hunting, it was hot as well. Like I didn't like the temperatures. It was way too hot. And so I think we missed a ton of bears that
Just
were
recent on this hunt?
Yeah,
It was
very
hot.
Oh,
Really?
Really
I
hot.
got a tan.
Yeah, like way too hot.
I mean,
So I think, and then too, like if it was
You got a
cold,
tan?
yeah,
Aren't you just brown anyway?
Got browner, I guess.
What are you talking
saying
about?
much.
I got a tan.
So because of the temperatures, like the bear I killed, just to jump into the bear I killed, I was glassing this canyon for a while, didn't see anything, went over back to Omar, glassed there. I was like, let's go check it out one more time. This canyon looks just awesome, Omar. Check out how sick this canyon. He hasn't been over there yet. We get over there, I sit down, put my binos. It's one of those things where instantly I see a bear next to a tree and it's bedded down. I saw a big puff of brown fur.
He's
And I was-
bedded?
What?
Bedded?
Bedded, yeah. Most of the bears I see a lot of times are bedded. Like that's why I try to find a bedded bear, but yeah, moving they're gonna be easier, especially a big black bear. They're easy to see. But those brown color face ones, mine was like that cinnamon chocolate kind of blonde. It was bedded there, and finally I saw it moving. Like, oh, that's definitely a bear. But digiscope on it, made the stalk all the way over there. I'm like, we got a stalk right now. He's bedded. We get over to the spot to shoot. The freaking bear's still bedded. I mean, this is literally maybe 40 minutes before dark, still bedded. And then the bear barely gets up with 20 some minutes of daylight left. So I'm thinking in my head, how many of those other situations when we're glassing some of these canyons that are 2 miles away, because I just like getting a master vantage points and seeing lots of country and then modifying it and getting in there the next day and getting closer. How many bears, because of the distance and because of some of these big trees, like I love seeing burnt trees or big ponderosa pine trees. And I know if I can get an angle behind it on the uphill side, a lot of bears bed on the uphill side of trees. I've seen bears do that all the time, or bed in some rock cliffs. How many of these bears we just didn't see because it was so hot and they're just bedded all day?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm kind of
You
thinking.
think that's why it was bedded so long? It was just heat?
I think it was. I think
How
it was a heat
hot
thing.
was it?
Yeah.
55, 60. But like at that elevation,
there, yeah.
in the springtime, it just feels hotter, and you get like a certain south-facing slope.
Yeah,
it's
for
nuked.
sure.
You get some north-facing, it might be a little bit warmer. And like they're just coming out of their dens. Their coat's giant right now too, and they're a little bit lethargic. So like I'm wondering if that had something to do with it, because we didn't see as many bears as normal. Like we barely, I'll say it, we saw 3 bears and we killed 2 bears.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there's more bears in the area, but it's just timing, heat.
Yeah.
Maybe the snowpack thing has something to do with it. But like the conditions were great. I don't think the conditions were ideal. That's what I said. Like you just can't go off of, oh, they went this time, I'm going to go this time. I don't think that's viable. It's just trying to figure out your area, your conditions, your hunting style too, if we're doing a truck hunt or backpack hunt. But
is it a new area to you? Would you say that or no?
yeah,
Newish?
generalish area I've been to before, but just further and deeper than ever.
Did you have young Omar do some of the research this time?
No.
Shoulder any of it?
No.
You just follow?
The trust doesn't go that deep, Trail.
Well, I would.
Trust is there, but not that
I
deep.
would call Omar.
At what
in.
point do you, like, what year is it? Is it 2025, 26, where you're like, okay, Omar, where are we going this year?
I did throw out a suggestion for next year.
You did?
Well, couple, if one falls.
How'd they land?
They landed pretty good.
Okay.
That's not what you think, but but I'm already thinking too, though. Like
New Jersey?
I love the what?
New Jersey?
Just absolute giant.
Yeah. So it's just like the area we hunt is good, but I also know there's plenty of other untouched places I haven't set foot in before that I really want to go to new place. I love new places. I love the history too of old places. Going back, knowing this, like, hey, remember this spot right here? You know, you saw an animal here. We saw this animal there. Like, this is what we call these places. Like, I have names for everything I go to. Just like little glassing points and all that stuff. Like, just a memory. I name it like a random memory. We have like Mountain Goat Point. We have like all these other stuff like we call things. It's like just cool little things. And so that's cool to go back to old places, but those new places intrigue me because then every day you're excited. Like when we started going back in this spot and went further and further than we've ever been before, every day I was just so excited. We got to that new spot after we went to Tick Camp.
Yeah, Tick Camp.
Tick Camp. It's literally named Tick Camp for a
Sounds
reason.
great.
Yeah. It's
Lorenzo's favorite place.
like I was so jacked that right when we set up camp and went to that little glassing point, I was so excited to glass like I've never been to before because everything was new.
You hadn't looked into that canyon?
Never put eyes in the canyon besides for e-scouting. And I just was so excited. And then that evening, I killed my bear.
You guys splitting up to glass, or you sitting side by
No,
side?
we stuck together most of the time. We had some thoughts early on, like, hey, Omar, should I go over here? You know, you go to Mountain Goat Point, or I'll go to Mountain Goat Point, you go sit right here. And we're like, it's early in the hunt, and we want to film it. So we didn't want to split up yet. Because I was like, Omar, I guarantee if I split up, I'm probably going to shoot one. Like, we didn't want to have something like that happen where we're separated out. But like towards the later in the hunt, we were probably going to split up a little bit more. But when we got to Tick Camp, I only went, I don't know what it was, a quarter mile away from you, and then started glassing. So we split up a little bit just to get double eyes on things. Like, I just had to check out that canyon. That canyon just looks so good on maps. And of course, that's worked out where my bear was.
Yeah.
But, I mean, bear hunting is so fun. I think it's the funnest hunt. I even said it on camera again. It's better than elk hunting, guys. It is.
Please.
You get out. Okay.
Oh, man.
Here's the reasoning.
I mean, I was listening to you up to this point. And then everything above and beyond that, like I would have given you the benefit of the doubt, but
And
you
then
just had to
just
go
shut
ahead and screw it up.
I just lost everyone's interest. Everyone just shut the podcast off. Right
Better
there.
than elk hunting.
So,
Oh,
that's
boy.
total bullshit.
Oh boy.
it's just like hunting fall, high country, gnarly mule deer. Just elusive animals, how they're bedded all day. They're hard to glass up. You can glass up school buses of elk all day long. Okay? Doesn't take you, like, I can use a pair of binoculars from Yellowstone little convenience store and glass up some freaking elk that are blurry as all heck. Like, okay? Like, if you're trying to find a big old mature mule deer, they're hard to glass. Every day you wake up with excitement. I want to pick up that train. I want to find that elusive buck. You see him for a little bit, you lose him, can't find him again. That's like bear hunting. You get the same nasty weather. You get rain, you get snow, you get elevation
You just
gain,
told
you get
us it
savage
was-
hikes.
All I've heard so far is you're looking for a slow, lethargic, hungry animal when it's 55 or 60 degrees outside.
Yeah.
But that's
grass
not
is
typical. That's
growing.
not typical. That's not weather conditions I like.
I mean,
We're fundamentally on two different planets when it comes to this. So to each
you're
their
on
own,
woolly
man.
mammoth planet.
Yeah,
Just when
you're on the planet of woolly mammoths.
when you turn up a bear,
I'm on the planet of reality.
Yeah, where
Okay.
elk are awesome.
when you turn up a bear, and you watch a bear in its natural habitat. You watch it flip rocks. You watch it scale stuff. You're like, I don't think a bear can go up that, and it goes up it. And you watch it bed down in that stuff. You watch it sleep next to a tree. You watch it drop down, go across the river. You're like, dude, that animal is so cool.
I mean, I just did it in October.
I mean,
you like weren't trying to go after a bear. Like when you try to dedicate yourself just to bear hunting, you realize this is.
I mean, you know what else
time.
beds down and goes through rough terrain and lives in.
I think I know the answer, Trail. Can I say it?
Is it elk?
Elk.
They also do that.
They also
Right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
The film
You're
you'll see
right.
coming out, you'll see some elk in some pretty crazy, pretty crazy country, and I get that. I understand. I say it jokingly. You guys know that.
I do like that you like bear hunting though.
I love it. I love the meat. I love the hide. I love their face. I love just the demeanor of a bear. Like everything about a bear when they're walking around, when they're sitting down, just like the things they do. It's kind of cool.
Did you kill first?
Omar killed first.
Omar did.
That's kind of the trend lately too. Get Omar.
Is that because you gave him first crack?
No, we do.
I
We do.
spotted it.
Yeah, we played.
Oh, you did?
We legit play a game because not to throw Neville under the bus, but back in the day we would play a game like one person kills one year, and then like I killed, and then Neville didn't kill on a hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Next year Neville gets first crack no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I like playing. If you glass an animal, it's yours. If you want to kill it or pass it up.
That's the age.
That's how it
that's
should
the
be.
go-to.
So we've had a lot of instances with Neville.
I mean, that's
Love the guy
That's the
where
rule.
we went the whole hunt.
go-to is if you glass it,
If you
it's your
glass it,
choice. You
you get-
pass it, it goes to the next guy, or you kill it.
That's it.
We had a whole hunt once where it was Neville's up first. I was glassing some bears. He was passing it up, and I still would pass up a bear. But then I finally glassed up a giant bear. It's the biggest bear I've ever seen in my life. I loved everything about that bear. That bear was giant, black color. I love black color phase bears. I love black bears. I think they're just so cool. This bear had giant legs, giant paw. He had a missing ear.
Ooh.
Old warrior of a bear. Huge pumpkin head, huge body, long legs. And normally long legs aren't the telltale sign of a big bear. But this bear was long, big legs, big gut. Everything about this bear was perfect. I glassed it up. I had to pass it up to Neville, and he missed twice.
Yeah, that's not how that goes.
I know.
That's not how that works.
I know. And
Especially
again,
when it's
we had a
big.
good thing. We had a good thing. Like our hunts were very fun. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
but like there's something to be said too when you then you're working harder to glass too. Like,
Yeah.
If Omar knows if he glasses up, he can show it. I'm jacked on him when he glasses up a bear. Like that big bear last year.
Yeah.
Of course he should shoot it. He glassed it up. Why would I?
Yeah.
Even though it's my spot, I researched it. I did all the logistics. He glassed it up.
Okay.
I'm being serious.
No,
And
But
on
it
his
is-
back.
Look, I'll make myself sound really good right now and taking the opportunity to look at. But even on our Colorado high country hunt, right?
Yeah.
We get up to the top. You slept in the next morning. I glassed to the back basin and I saw the deer. I'm like, oh, Brady, there's deer back there. One of them looks pretty big. Well, we go in that night. You were the first one to find it that night. Okay,
Yeah.
now it's yours.
Yeah.
Like you saw what it was, where it is.
I think it's
like that's how it works.
It's a
You
more
know what I
fair
mean?
system to do. And like I said, then everyone's working hard.
Yeah.
Where then if I'm like, if that person's like, oh, I guarantee I'm going to first shot, I'm just going to casually glass over here, let other person do all the work. Like they're not going to do that because
Yeah.
I have a savage hunting partner
Yeah.
like Omar. He's going to work.
It's how it works. Like that morning you slept in and I glassed. I'm like, one of them looks good, but I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah.
Right. Then we go in that night and Brady goes, I see him. He's giant. It's like, okay, you know what it is. You saw him, so it's yours, right? And that's like the
That's just
normal
the
way it
rule.
works.
Yeah.
They should put that in the guidebooks. That
Really should be.
Well, that's what we talk about too. People wanting to find hunting partners and all that. Like, this is how it works.
Yeah.
This is how it works. If you glass it, it's yours.
Yep.
So Omar, you glassed it up first.
So,
Yeah.
but prior to that though, I glassed up a bear early in the hunt
Yeah.
across a canyon
This was cool.
and glassed up his bear. I'm like, oh, it looks like a good bear. From across, it was like 370 yards or something like that. Like, I mean, we can kill it right now. We set up, got the spotter out, started looking at this bear, and I was like, it's early in the hunt. I was like, Omar, I'm passing it. It's yours if you want it. And then I'm like, come here, look at the bear. And we're kind of thinking about it. And he's like, yeah, I guess I'll kill it. It's a good bear. And we're trying to compare it to his last year's bear. I'm like, it's smaller than your last year's bear, but it's a good, respectable bear. It's a black color phase, jet black, really cool.
Respectable bear. I think it's like Paddington Bear. It's got like
Yeah,
a top hat on and a raincoat. A good respectable bear.
The way he's sitting is really respectable. He's he's got a demeanor. He like appreciates the mountain. He appreciates where he's at in life. He's respectable.
No, I hear you.
And so I'm like, yeah, Omar, you can kill if you want. He's like, yeah, maybe I will. I'm like, go grab your rifle. And he was kind of taking a little bit while. And I was like, one time I was like, Omar, if you want to kill this thing, we gotta freaking kill this thing. He's like dropping down off these cliffs, like he's going straight down these cliffs, like just sheer cliffs. And all of a sudden he gets down below. I'm trying to digiscope. I'm like, I lost sight of him. He got too far down below us and started making a stalk down further in this little cliffy area. Got set up on these cliffs, and we're looking like he has to be here. Now he's below this cliff band. He could go right, he could go left, or down. He didn't go up because we can't see him anymore. This kind of hillside's open. I start dropping down this canyon, climb up another cliff, try to look over at Omar's over here looking down. He's signaling to me, and I'm like, I don't know, I was trying to signal him, like, just pick apart the binos. I was like trying to signal, like, move up or move down, like try to find a different angle so we could coordinate and try to locate the
Omar's
bear.
just over there giving him the bird. Hey!
He's like, I'm just going to sit here. You did all the work. And,
That'd be my signal.
yeah.
Hey, Brady!
So we're sitting there. I dropped down these cliffs. I came back up these cliffs, and all of a sudden, like, I didn't know Omar was behind me. So I'm glass, all of a sudden, I turn on, like, oh, Omar's like right behind me.
I thought you meant come on.
Oh
over.
no,
He's very
I was
sneaky.
meaning like go up, like try to find different angles. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know where this bear is, dude. He's like, I don't either. It's just, he's like, what should we do? I'm like, we probably should just sit here because like we have a bear in a killable spot. Anyone on this hillside, if he shows up, we can kill him. It's going to be hard to set up for a shot because it's so steep, but we'll find a way to kill him. And all of a sudden, I look down below me, and I'm like, oh my, there's the bear. Bear's like 70 yards away.
Across
the river.
Oh, really? Come
Yeah,
over.
can't cross the river somehow. I'm like, why would a bear leave good habitat, good green grass for more green grass? But bears just are kind of random, do what they do. Came right
Probably
up
not
to,
a respectable bear.
not a respectable bear. He
just
didn't
lost all my
respect the
respect.
terms of the game. He's supposed to stay on that side. So all of a sudden the bear is at like, whatever I said, 60, 70 yards. He starts feeding up to us. He's feeding up the cliff right to us. Bear gets to 31 yards.
You wish you had your bow.
Oh yeah,
That would have been
that's what I said.
It was broadside forever. I'm literally, so I had the
Did you
65.
shoot this bear? Is this bear you shot?
No.
No. So,
So
the
why
bear-
didn't you shoot this bear?
What?
Why didn't we shoot
Because
this
they were
bear?
respectable.
We lost respect for him.
So we start looking. The bear
lost
comes up to
respect.
31 yards.
Me
I have
too.
my Swaro 65 ATX. I have that thing zoomed out as far as I can. I cannot find this bear. It's so close. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I have to angle it like way down further because it was a straight down cliff. Like I'm trying to find him in the spotter to get digiscope. I finally get it. The bear's taking up the whole screen of the digiscope. I'm zooming out as far as I can go. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at this bear. And I'm like, Omar, I don't know if it's as big as we thought it was. It's not as respectable.
It lost our respect.
I lost our respect because it came on our side. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we should pass it up. And we're just like, let's just watch him for a little while. We started watching him for a little while. And I was like, maybe we should kill him. And then we went back to now, maybe we should. Like, let's just sit here and like kind of soak up the moment and just watch this bear. It was
How
so
long
cool.
did he feed? He was close to you? 30?
45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
How many times could you have killed him with a bow?
45 minutes.
Like he was broadside. He ended up coming up closer. Like
No kidding.
it was so cool to watch. And again, like I said, I enjoy watching bears. I was digiscoping him. I was watching him grab blades of grass. He had a little bit of like whatever mites or something like that, kind of eating out some of the fur of his eyes from the den. So it was probably an old, maybe not an old bear, but an old enough bear to get some of that stuff. But he just had a mountain body, not like a trash can eating bear body. Like those mountain bears sometimes are just shorter and he had a little bigger skull. So I'm like, he's a good bear, but it's so early.
Yeah.
Male?
Yeah,
Boar?
definitely a boar for sure. It didn't have that pear shaped back end. It had a more squared up back end, blocky face. Then the bear finally got her wind, dropped down, came up the other side, and now the bear's at like 200 yards, just like feeding again, like not knowing what happened. Like didn't really know what the wind was, but it smelled something because that's the only thing really that they have a really good nose. Like they have poor eyesight and poor hearing. Dropped to their side, and he's sitting there, and we're like, do we kill him now? Because now he's back on the same
Oh,
side. I mean,
no. You don't kill him
And,
further.
yeah,
You
and I'm
lost
like-
respect for him.
He gets a pass
gain
at
it
that
back.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so,
you can't kill a bear.
so I pulled the digiscope back up and was like, I just want to see, like, we could go glass, but I just want to sit here and look at this bear. Like, I literally wanted to just watch him. And so I just digiscoped him again, and then we got out of there. So that was like the first bear. Omar's bear, he glassed up.
There we go, Omar.
Yep.
What were you
And
glassing?
tell us about how you picked that thing up, because that wasn't a close pickup.
Yeah, what are you glassing from?
Like 2 miles away.
Off a tripod?
No, with I had Lorenzo's, what 12 by 42s?
12s.
Yeah, 12
You don't
Zulus-
need a
12 Zulu
tripod if you
sixes.
got the Zulu 6s.
So you had the Zulu 6s.
So we-
those
that's-
sick
that's-
binos.
I should mention that too. We went lighter weight on optics this year. Last year he brought a spotter and a tripod and 12s or 10s? Vortex UHDs?
12 by 50s, yeah.
12 by 50 UHDs. This year I was like, well, I'm just going to take my ATX 65 Tricer BC, and I'm taking my 16 Zulu 6s, and he's just going to take Zulus as well.
So
And just
that's
a
it?
tripod.
That's it.
Do you
We
feel
went-
like those Zulus have like effectively replaced the need to like sit with a tripod?
Yeah.
I think so. I wasn't the
That's
biggest,
incredible.
like, I love glassing from a tripod, and this like was like a little iffy for me, But I mean, after using the Zulu 6, I was like, this is no brainer.
Yeah.
Omar and I had a conversation in my office because he was asking what, the optic setup and if he could borrow my Zulus. And I said, yeah. And we were talking about it. So why would you bring in a tripod and something bigger? You have Zulu 12s. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And that's what I mentioned.
I'm like, are you trying to see if it has a double eye guard or like a split G3 or a cheater? Like, you don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You're bear hunting. Use Zulu 6s and drop all the other bullshit.
Yep. So I had an optics video up there talking about my ideal optics setup. And I did mention in there too, like if you're not doing what we're doing, like we're filming, we're trying to get digiscope. I do use it to judge bears, a spotter, and to glass really long ways away and then to judge that bear. If you're just going after a bear and you want, again, that respectable bear, you just want a slightly mature bear.
I just keep thinking of a bear with a monocle and
a top hat.
a cute little mustache and top hat.
A little Swisher Sweet.
That's
now.
a t-shirt. We're doing a
proper
t-shirt.
bear.
Respectable bear.
Yeah, that's a good t-shirt
bear.
idea. Write that down, Cody.
Cody Moore.
Respectable bears.
Don't
I like
steal that.
So I was like, you don't need a tripod. You can dish the spotter and the tripod and just have 16s or 12s, and it'll crush.
I listened to your recent podcast with Cody Nelson. You guys somebody asked the question, 12s or 16s when it comes to the Zulus, which are those image stabilized binos. You said the 16s.
16s all day.
I would say 12s.
That's what I have as a 12.
I would say 12s hands down. I think the 12s are brighter.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I've
As
never
I
been-
listened to that, I was screaming at my...
That's why I said if I came across that free $500 to the gear shop from the using promo code podcast, then I would pick up the 16s. Like that's just a free pair of 16s in my pocket. But I bought the 12s. I like the 12s.
Yeah, I like the 12s too.
So I've never wished I had more. I think the 20s are overkill. I would, sure they sell them for a reason, but like I don't suggest people go there. But I've never wished I had more. And there is sometimes I will say that I wish I had less. Like we do Glassum canyons bear hunting that are tight.
Yeah.
And then my field of view is so narrow. I have to go up and down a lot where I wish I had a wider field of view. So that's where, you're right. 12s can be good in some situations. But
I just
love
think they're brighter.
Clearly they're better because Omar picked up the bear.
That's right.
It's true.
2 miles away.
So the
Omar.
proof's in the pudding here.
Proof's in the pudding. Well, that's sorted.
Moving on.
Moving on.
He also might have
Prove our
been,
point.
he also was glassing in an area where we knew there was bears previous years.
We'll just,
So he's like, I'm just going to go right here where there's been a
we'll
bear
just leave it at
before.
the point being proven it was with 12s.
Yeah.
He picked up the bear.
So you pretty excited to see this bear? First bear?
Yeah, I was
2
excited.
miles away?
2 miles away, and then Brady was like, "That's a hell of a spot. Good job." Because I was like watching it, and I was like, "That's gotta be a bear."
Did you get your little ego that you get when he told you?
No, I was
he
humble.
did mention to me though. He's like, I feel really cool. I spotted a bear because last year, like you spotted all the bears, Brady,
There we go.
except for the one he killed.
Was it up feeding?
Yeah, it was up feeding.
It was probably running wide open, sunlight like beaming on him.
It wasn't. Did we spot him in the morning?
Yeah,
it was like a 10 a.m.
It
spot.
was like a 10 a.m. spot. It was under a ponderosa pine, but there was like a little sapling, so you couldn't really see it, and it wasn't like it didn't show itself for like that much. At times, it was like 5 minutes you'd see it, and then it'd go behind brush, and so that was pretty
So
cool.
when you picked it up, it was like jumping around, kicking, bucking in the sunlight, wide open.
it was respectable.
It came out with a top hat and a cane
Super respectable.
and a monocle.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was fun.
Then he spotted it. We put the spotter on it, confirmed it was a bear
Did you know it was a good bear?
Yeah.
from that distance. Yeah,
You could tell.
and then
Is that distance a worry to you? 2 miles?
it sometimes is because a bear can
Move.
look bigger than what it is.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
instantly though we were like, we need to get closer.
Yeah.
So then we tightened the boots tighter, put the packs on, and
The all leathers.
Got my boots tied, my lunch packed right. Hope I don't get in a fight.
And then we went really far in Savage, and the problem is when we go over there that we get into more tick land. And once we hit a certain little elevation and where the slope lies, there's just more ticks right there. But we got on these cliffs.
We'll get into that.
We
Yeah,
dropped
ticks.
down, got on these little cliff band, and we're trying to pick up the bear again. And Omar can continue there for that night.
Was it the night we went to the top of Tickland there?
No, the night we went to that big rock pile.
Oh yeah,
The rock- that was tick land. There were so
Yeah.
many ticks. That's when you had like ticks all over your shoulder and every piece of clothes. That's when we started busting out the
That was
duct tape.
disgusting.
Talk about walking, trying to find that bear.
Yeah, we got there and we it was kind of like this rock pile like / outcropping, and we could see directly to where that bear was at. We're already so far in there, like let's just go look at this bear, see if we could spot it again. We already knew kind of like there wasn't really going to be a move.
Yeah, we couldn't kill from there. There's no
Yeah.
way we could drop down because it was sheer cliff and the distance to get over to where
Yeah.
it needed to be. But it's an observation. We wanted to make sure it was a good bear.
Yeah, want to make sure it's a good bear, so we set up. We're picking off ticks with duct tape and everything, and just like what the heck just happened.
Quick question. How much distance did you cut now to get confirmation that it's a shooter bear?
We were, probably 2,000-ish yards away.
So cut quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a bit. And then we're sitting there glassing, glassing different angles. That's the first spot too where we got a look at some new country. And we're like, whoa, like this opened our eyes. Eventually we'll get there, but we're glassing that hill that bear was at. And then eventually Brady gets eyes on the bear, and he was like, yeah, man, it's a pretty good bear. And so like then we knew that there was going to be a bear there. We'll see if like the next couple days we see that bear again, comes out and feeds. I was hoping that the next day after that we'd spot that bear and we'd have all day to go potentially kill it. But it didn't happen until a couple days later.
Yeah, we didn't. For some reason, after that, we didn't turn up the bear again. And
You didn't kill that bear that night then?
No, and then the next day we couldn't turn him back up. We tried
Any-
going out
did
there
you
and
turn any bears up
No.
the next day?
No, the next day that was our 0 day. We had a complete 0 day. So we went right back to that spot. We had a long hike to get to the first spot where Omar glassed up. Like, well, it's morning. We hunt bears in the morning. A lot of people don't, but we still do. We're up there. We got to be hunting. Like, not like super early morning, but like we're trying to be out, 8:30, 9 a.m. throughout the whole morning, and usually pick up bears from 9 to about 11. Pick up a lot of bears moving around. And we're like, we're going to turn them back up. We tried turning them back up from long distance. Couldn't turn them up.
Trying to pick up other bears, hopefully.
Tried to pick up other bears. We even went closer, went back to that little area and couldn't turn them up. I'm like, where's this bear? And that's again where I was saying before about that heat thing. Like, I think that bear is there. And I'm like, all this other country we're looking at, Omar, too. It's not just pigeonholing ourselves and all our eggs in the basket, glassing one area. Like, we can see a lot from right here. Like, there's a lot of country we can cover, and we're not turning up anything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think that bear would go up into the top because he's already at snow line, and up top is just freaking savage, like Mordor in the snow. Like, just gnarly peaks. And you can't go up and over the top. He's going to be down in here somewhere. We can see on the left. We can see the right. There's a couple tree groups in between there. Like, it could be better than the trees, but just never turned up. I was like, dang, like that stings.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, shoot, should have we not gone to that rock pile that other night, dropped down, crossed the stream, climbed up something savage. We had time. We probably could have done it to get there to kill it.
Yeah.
So it's like that's when you have to play sometimes of when to be aggressive and go after it and when not to. And I felt bad for a little bit because I was the patient one there. And I was like, I don't think we should go right now. We don't know if that bear is a big bear. Because at first when we glassed him up, it was 2.5 miles away. So like, why drop all the way down, kill ourselves, go over there and then set up and, not see if we wanted to be able to locate it. And we did locate it later that night.
What'd you want to do, Omar?
I agreed.
You did?
Yeah, I agreed. So this is actually kind of like funny, like the transition of like hunting. Like I've been doing it for such a little short time still, but I would arguably say last year when we went on our bear hunt, I would have been probably pissed. I'm like, Bray, like let's go kill that bear.
Yeah.
Just kind of wanting to hunt. I had never killed anything besides a javelina and a turkey back then. So I was, looking to hunt, but like then, like, I got a season under my belt, know what it kind of feels like to hunt and all the time and energy that even goes into getting set up to a potential shot. Nothing's guaranteed. I agreed. I was like, it's late night. We're going to put ourselves in a pinch. We're going to kill ourselves to potentially not even kill this bear, to maybe like, what could happen during that night, get home late, miss a morning session. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm down. Like, let's go.
And I always have a hesitation too about blowing up country.
Yeah,
With bears, because they do have a good nose, and we get over there. We don't know if there are any other bears in the area. All that terrain we're going to go through is stuff we can still glass and kill from. Like, it's killable distance. So if we turn up a bear there, we can kill it, and we're going to go hike right through it and blow everything up. But then after the 0 day, though, we got back to our one spot, turned them up again.
Same bear?
Basically, we call it like lunch point. It's where we usually have lunch in the middle of the day. It's like a good observation
lunch
point.
Is this the same bear?
Same bear.
You turned up the same bear. So
Yeah.
he just went on a hiatus for a day.
Yeah.
He, like you did say, maybe he dropped low. And there's another ridge line coming down. So if the bear dropped lower on that mountain, we might not have seen him. So maybe he did drop low, and we turned him up lower on the mountain a couple days later. So we turned him up low, and we're like, well, low is better for us. It's further distance we have to go hike.
Yeah.
Did you glass him up again?
Yes, I glassed him up again.
You glassed him up
and
again.
this day,
He's beating you up.
This day I woke up and I was like, because the first day that I passed that bear, I was like, no, I want to kill a bear on my birthday, because we had pushed this hunt up, right? And it landed on when it was going to be like my birthday. I was like, perfect way to spend my birthday. And so I kind of passed up that bear for that reason. And then finally I
You
woke
passed up a bear because it wasn't your birthday.
Like it was early and it was kind of like,
I can't kill that bear. It's not my birthday.
You did have the day we did strike a 0 though. That day was like, dude, if we see that bear tomorrow, again, I might go after him. When we passed, he was like kind of itching, like, gosh, maybe I made a mistake, because we all of a sudden hadn't seen a bear.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of not rare to go 0 days, but in this area, usually it's pretty rare to go 0.
Yeah. Yeah, so we woken up that day, and can I say the date? People might know my date. All right, whatever, my birthday. So we woke up that day.
So it's your birthday.
Huh?
It's your birthday.
It's my
You
birthday.
Wake up,
Yeah.
it's his birthday.
Did you celebrate?
Okay.
Brady didn't remember.
I kind of forgot. But
Had you told him?
I woke up and I was like, we're getting ready, and I was like, it's my birthday, it's gonna be good. And he's like,
How do you bring that up? Isn't it always a little awkward to tell somebody else?
Yeah,
Hey,
so-
so today's my birthday.
So if you want to treat me special, like it's my birthday today.
in his
Like,
defense,
you
get
got
a
me
crowbar.
snacks.
in his defense too, I
You want
did.
to sing to me?
I did forget. Okay, he did mention to me before we were going to be gone that we're going to be hunting on his birthday.
So at this point, he's mentioned it multiple times. It's his birthday.
But we're out there hunting. You know, guys don't really talk about things, but
Hey guys,
all the
it's my
time.
birthday.
We're talking about the hunt. But when he said it, I was like, Omar, I got a gift for you.
Oh yeah, he did give me a gift.
I gave him a gift on his birthday.
It's a hug.
No, better, way better than a hug. So
birthday
he was eyeing up. I have bone broth that I bring in little packets. Every night, he's like, "Damn, I wish I brought bone broth." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great. We get back to camp, have our, our freeze dried or whatever, and then dehydrated meal, and then I have bone broth. It's good calories, good protein. A hot drink, and we have a lot of water in this area, so we have constant water. And so I was like, "Here you go, Omar. Here's a packet of bone broth." So I gave him a bone broth packet for his birthday.
So that's what if you want to treat me special, like it's my birthday today, just letting you know.
And he did. He's like, oh yeah, here's
So that was the only thing I figured I could give him on his birthday. Like, did any of you guys give him a gift on his birthday?
I couldn't.
I did. I was there.
No, I wouldn't have got you anything for your birthday. I do like you, but
So I kicked the day off well because you knew you got a present.
Yeah, got a present. We went to Lunch Knob
Lunch knob.
and glassed up that bear again. And then, I mean, this time it's in the morning, so we knew we could potentially kill this bear. So
Yeah, we grabbed some calories quick. We figured hey, let's eat our bagel and have some calories. And
because we saw it, well, actually we didn't see it we saw it from further away. Remember? We saw it from further away. Saw the bear, got closer, saw the bear again. We're like, all right,
we knew he was
sweet.
in the area. Then we went to
Killable
Pasture
spot.
Timber. Like he's there.
And then we kind of went to like the final spot where we knew we were gonna have to drop off, and we're like, all right, well, it's gonna be a couple hours before we sit down again. So like, let's eat lunch. Bear's not gonna go anywhere. Potentially, you never know. But let's eat lunch, and then you could take over the savage.
Yeah, so the Savage Pound. So this is again the shameless plug. GOHUNT maps, or GOHUNT topo. All right. So utilizing this, I knew the area we had to drop down. I had rangefinder tool marked where the bear was. Rangefinder can range a million yards. So marked all the way over there where the bear was at. Figured it out the exact little spot, and then I used the topo to kind of figure out a way we can navigate down this ab chute. This is a giant ab chute we had to go down, but then there was a ridge on their side. So then I took the topo, found that ridge, measured line distance from that ridge to potentially where the bear was. Like, yeah, we just get to that ridge, we can shoot the bear. But then I was like, okay, now we got to get there. Ab chute, we dropped down. Some of these places, like you don't know if anyone's ever stepped foot in there before, but I was like, Omar, I guarantee you no one's ever went down this ab chute because it is sketch. Like it's straight vertical and there's just scree everywhere. And it's like, we can't go these other places because we're going to cliffed out. There looks like there's cliffs down by the water. That's why we're looking at satellite imagery, trying to see which way the water's meandering. If it meanders in a big corner, there's probably a big, cliff right there. So we can't drop down there, can't jump down there. This is our chute we have to go down. And potentially then we'll get down to the bottom and be able to cross this river. We're starting to go down there. Omar's filming a little bit. We're trying to make our way down. All of a sudden, I get to one point where Omar's ahead of me. I see he grabs the camera. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to start going down this scree. I start going down this scree, and no joke, I am skiing. Like I am sliding down on my boots, and luckily I have some big boots, so it helps probably to ski a little bit. I'm literally going down sideways, back and forth, and Omar's filming, and like all this rock pile screen in front of me is just moving with me. It's like a rock avalanche shooting the scree.
It's awesome.
And I'm just going down with it, and I have this giant like wave of rocks rolling down. That you can all of a sudden down below me, you can see all the rocks way below hit the water. I'm just going down. I stop and I started like yelling. Like, that was the coolest thing ever.
One of these.
I gave him a little like hang loose, like
Shaka?
Yeah.
So we're in the beaches of Hawaii or something.
Yeah. So we get all the way down. We're like, dude, that was so fun. I'm like, you captured it on video? It's like, yeah. I'm
Omar's like, let's hike up and do it again.
yeah, it was so fun. But I took all the rocks down and that was dirt. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna suck for later. But again, this is the importance too of dropping a track. So we're dropping tracks and dropping waypoints down because I'm like, it's daylight now. We need to navigate down through these cliffs, and now we know it's safe in the daylight. We can mark exactly where I cross. I take a picture of the crossing so I can reference it later. Once we get across, I mark the other waypoint so I know this is a safe spot to cross because a lot of areas in this country you can't cross.
How deep was it?
Where we crossed the river?
There's
It wasn't that bad.
wasn't that bad. There was
Yeah.
one spot right away that was like probably knees for me and a little bit higher for you, which is going to be a little scary. And then I
Omar's
think that's a
waist.
little bit easier.
Yeah. Knees for Brady, so Lorenzo's nipples.
So we get across, get some water, and I'm like, all right, we got to go up this sheer cliff right now. And it's like a sheer cliff. It's like straight up. You can put your hand out and just like touch. But it's like kind of grassy, some rock cliffs. And then all of a sudden we get up higher. We get into the snow now. Now we're in the snow. And now I'm like posting. I felt like I was climbing Everest. We're we're watching 14 Peaks back there on Netflix. Well, we love 14 Peaks. I watched it a million times. So I like post only, like digging my boots in, making a path for me. And then Omar's obviously going the path right behind me. We get all the way up. I look over. I'm like, okay, there's the spot where the bear was. You see that Av shoot? There's a scree field. There's that broken tree hanging across the bear. Last time I saw him was right there. He's bedded somewhere in that area. We just couldn't turn him up. I'm like, well, we're a little further distance. It's not quite comfortable here. We went up a little bit higher on the ridge, found a spot. I felt really bad. Omar got all his stuff out, got his gun laid down. I was like, yeah, just lay down right now, practice, put your backpack down, figure out something, dry fire, whatever you need to do. I went up the ridge further, and it was only like maybe 100 yards.
Yeah.
And there was an even better spot to like lay down. Where you can lay down completely prone. He was having to try to shoot off his backpack.
Yeah.
And I tried to feel that. So I'm like, got back down. Like, Omar, we made a yard sale right here. We have to grab all our gear now, pack it all up, and let's go up 100 yards and set up there.
Yeah. But I mean, it was better. Whenever you have time and you could set up and you're comfortable,
It's always better.
it's always better. It's always
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Because you always think about that too. Like when you don't have a good shot, you're like, man, if I could just had a little bit more time. So like this time I was like, all right, I have the time. Let's just go up, pick up all our crap.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
And so now it's, I don't know what it was, 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. We're kind of set up. We got there fairly fast, and we made another yard sale. We took off our gaiters, started picking ticks everywhere, flicking ticks off. Take
It's
our
always give you something to do is pick ticks.
pick ticks. We
It's
have a
like
lot
your
of picking
downtime.
ticks.
You can always pick ticks.
Sometimes,
Drop your
reach
boots.
over. I pick a tick off Omar. He picks a couple off me. It's like,
Friends helping friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we took our boots off, took our socks off, bare feet. We laid all our
Pants
socks and
off,
everything to
shirts
get across. Yeah. So we're just like drying out gear, got the solar panel out, charging batteries, trying to glass this bear up. We're within a distance we could shoot right here if the bear comes out.
Yeah.
Didn't
Gun
find
was
the
all
bear.
set up again.
Yeah, didn't really find the bear for a while. All of a sudden, like Omar's like, I got the bear. And he was in the snow on this like hillside. We expected him to still be in the scree side in the grass, but he was up early, probably because he was in the dark timber in the snow. Saw this bear starting working up. I'm like, okay, I got him right now. I put eyes on him. Omar had eyes on him. So like he's in this timber, but he's going up. Up's not good for us because it's going to start stretching the distance out a little bit too far.
I'm going to sound like Trail, but pee break.
Tight.
All right, so the bear's in the snow.
Bear's in the snow.
He's
We're back.
going up.
He's going up, which is not good. So I mentioned Omar.
You ever thought about predator calling when you're back there?
I did have a predator call.
Just
Yeah.
try it.
No, I did not.
You ever tried it?
I've sat down on some other states before and tried predator calling and never had it good. But like this might have been different because we see a bear. Maybe predator
Yeah.
call to bring him down, which I'm all for that.
I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, that'd be a fun way to bear hunt.
Do a little predator calling, bear hunt in spring. See what happens. That seems like a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned to you like we could drop down and both drop down together, or
Yeah.
I could send you down
Yep.
and I could stay up and be the eyes in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's gonna be risky either way because this bear could just be going up for a little bit and then he
How
could turn
far away
around.
is he?
At
He's out of,
5.
he's out of range.
5, maybe 6.
Yeah, close to 6. So you got too far up, and I'm like, that's too far now. Like we need it closer. But he would have came out where the scree field was.
Omar, are you wanting to shoot at this point?
Yeah.
Are you like, I can make this shot?
Well, it's his birthday,
Yeah,
so
it's
he
his
has to
birthday.
shoot.
I was like, I wanted to get it done.
Yeah.
It's a birthday bear.
It's
I
a
gotta
birthday
have
bear.
it.
Yeah.
It's a BB.
Here we are in position for a birthday bear. Everything's coming together, but now the bear's going uphill. So I'm like, well, if he keeps going up, it's gonna be bad.
Are you guys having the discussion about whether you should take a shot or not?
No.
No.
Have you
No.
ever been in that position with a hunting partner where you're like, I can make that shot, and your hunting partner's like, I don't think you should take
Yeah,
that
I don't think
shot?
you should shoot. Yeah,
It's a weird spot to
there's
be
one
in.
person it happens with more so than others, but yeah, they've definitely been in that situation.
Oh, I bet I know you're done.
Yeah.
I've been in that one time. Like, I shot that moose with a rifle, and the guy was with Steve. This bull was like 410 yards, I want to say. And Steve was like, it's too far. And I was like, that
Nope.
bull's
Dead.
dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's too far. We need to get closer. And I was like, listen, I'm shooting this bull. Like, I'm going to shoot it. So this is the way it's going to happen.
So here
And-
we are.
And I shot the bull and killed it. But it is a weird spot to be in sometimes.
Yeah,
with
that
hunting buddies.
disagreement, yeah.
That disagreement's kind of funky.
On a different bear hunt, I had some friends say I should not take the shot, and I was like, I can take it right now. Like, well, if we have to get over there, cross the stream, get up there to kill it anyway, we can just kill it in the morning. The bear will still be there. Bear never showed up for 3 days. Never saw that. Never shot that bear.
But you guys are in
I could've killed it
agreement
right
to
there.
like not take a shot.
Yeah, because like he's getting uphill. Like,
Yeah.
Omar, we shoot a lot together, and now he's gotten a lot better. But like, still, it's like, okay, he's early in his hunting career and hunting situations, and I respect the bear, and like, I'm sure he can make it, but let's get closer.
Yeah.
Make this a sure deal, because we're not seeing that many bears right now, too.
That was another thing too. It's like, let's try to get the most 100% shot instead of just obviously sending one out.
So I'm like, all right, I'll stay up here. We both could go, but it'd be better to stay eyes. That way, if the bear does something crazy, you can look up, I can signal you or whatever, or I can just turn the bear up and we can try to kill it the next day. They can figure out where his maybe home area is. Maybe this isn't his core area. Maybe it is up higher. So like, Omar, drop down, start cutting distance. There's this rock pile over there where he was earlier. If you can get to that rock pile, you'll probably be able to see that dark facing timber because it has snow on it. And it's going to allow you to see easier from your angle because the way the trees are here, it's kind of hard to see it. Like, I kept losing the bear, but I'm like, I guarantee over there it's going to be more open. Looks like it's open on satellite imagery. So I send Omar down. I'm sitting up there. I have a yard sale going on. And I do a little filming with a little camera and like a little selfie video. Like, oh yeah, Omar's dropping down right now. Hope he gets a shot on this bear. I'm just going to stay up here to see what stuff. I'm saying, like, I see a little black object moving out in the open.
That's Omar.
And I don't think
he's very tan.
And I'm like, I don't remember what I said on camera, but all of a sudden, like, I kind of like wrapped up what I said and like threw the camera down. And I look, I'm like, shoot, that's the bear. Now it's coming out in the open. It's still far. So like, but I ranged it. I was like, shoot, it's actually not as far as I thought. It's 545. Like, he probably could have taken a shot. Now he's already down the mountain. There's no way I can signal him or see Omar or yell because the bear will hear me. So I'm like, all right, Omar's on his own. I kind of wish he was here now because he could take the shot.
You weren't like, well, guess I'll have to shoot it.
Guess it's up to me now.
You didn't think
Yeah,
that?
so Omar's down on his own. This is what I'm very proud of everything we've done together, training, shooting, hunting now. He's on his own, which I think is really cool. Doesn't have me there to just his turret like last year, range for him, set his windage.
Carrie's gun for him.
Dad's not there.
Yeah, and so like,
Pat him on the bottom.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start digiscoping this bear. I'm just up here. I have whatever, I'm gonna get footage of him. So I start digiscoping the bear. Bear walks in the open a little bit more, and it's like an open av shoot. Gets over this tree, starts hanging on this tree. I'm recording digiscope. All of a sudden, I hear I'm like, what are the odds? I'm literally digiscoping this bear. And like, time had gone on, so Omar, I don't know how far down he dropped in the mountain, but later on I found out he dropped down on the mountain. There's a giant snowfield down below us. He set up on the snow, ranged the bear, got everything dialed, shoots the bear. Bear runs a little bit. I'm digiscoping as it's moving over, takes another shot, and I'm like, I swear I saw the bear roll. Like, first shot hit it, second shot hit it, and I swear I saw the bear roll, but it was in the trees. And I'm like, Omar,
There we go, Omar.
When did he did it by himself?
There we go,
When
bud.
did you see the bear? How far down did you get before you saw him?
Maybe 60% down the mountain.
Okay.
And then I saw it come out. And then I knew I was like on my own. Like, I'm not going to run back up, and set up because I'm going to be a little bit further. So where I was at was 512. And so I was like, that was cool because now I had the decision factor in my court, and I had to come up with a decision. I didn't want to lose the bear. I wanted that birthday bear.
I kind of love that. That's such
that was such a big part of it.
like, I could give two shits about my birthday, which is funny. Sometimes I want that birthday
And if
bear.
I'm hunting, like, I could give two shits if it's my birthday or not.
Me-
Like, I just want to kill.
Me too. I just love
I think
it.
there is something cool deep down though. Like,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
hunt
you'll
on your
remember
birthday.
it for sure. Yeah,
And
I
like
get
spring bear for Omar.
I
My
get that.
My birthday's June 6th, so it's like
Yeah.
I do kind of want to kill a bear on my birthday.
I get that.
Yeah.
So I had dropped down, and I'm probably 60% now, and that bear's out. I'm like, shit, the bear's out, and it's pretty killable. It's 512. If I get set up and I feel comfortable, I feel like I could take a good shot. And my thought process at first was like, no, like, I'm gonna go down the mountain. So I started posting down, and then I came back up, and then I went down again, and then I came back up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna set up.
You're gonna lose visibility if you keep going down because you're nowhere near where that rock pile was.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have taken me an hour and a half, maybe more, to get that rock pile. So I got set up. I put my pack down, put the rifle up on my pack, and then just got nice and settled in. Took that first shot, saw it hit, and then the bear kind of ran for 20, 30 yards.
And it didn't really run. It like hobbled over.
Yeah,
there.
hobbled over, yeah. And then I was like, shoot, like, maybe not the best shot at first, but then I took a second shot, crushed it, and then it tumbled over. And the second shot's actually pretty perfect because it was going behind a tree,
He
and I
shot
had
perfectly.
a second to make that shot.
And it's one of those situations,
Nice.
again, where you have a round in an animal, and I always say, like, oh, I always love to get one shot kills. But if the animal's still there, you shoot again.
Bro, you shoot till
owe it
you
to the
shoot
animal
till
to
it's
shoot
rolling.
again, no matter what.
I'm all for it. You
And-
shoot till it's rolling.
And what I thought was really cool too, again, it's me being like a rifle geek guy. I was like digiscoping it the whole time, and I heard the first crack go off, and it sounds different, because I'm different distance from him. And it was a very short period of time later he got the second round off. He got the second round off quick. He was able to reload, acquire the target, calm his nerves,
Nice.
and take the second shot, which I was super impressed about.
Yeah, that's the skills that you need for sure. Those are the ones that you.
Yeah, because a
wanna
lot of people will
build
break
towards.
down in the moment, like, oh shoot, like the animal's moving, like that was
Yeah.
my one chance, like I hit it, but did I hit it
Yeah.
well? You don't know, because I can't say like, hey, you hit it in this spot because I'm not next to him.
Yeah.
He's all by himself. Re-engage his target.
That's I think people do get really stuck on the one shot kill, and they like wait to see like, oh, is he gonna tip over? Is he getting wobbly? Like, no, dude, he's still standing. Just keep shooting. Who cares? Like, if you want one shot feedback, go to the range. Go shoot steel. Like, it's an animal, right?
Right.
Like, just keep shooting till they're down.
Yeah, get him killed.
Yeah. And that was my biggest thing too, is last year's bear was kind of a hit to the gut, because, we hadn't seen it die or nothing like that. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to relive that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your bear ended up dying probably 5 minutes after you shot your bear last year, but we just didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked like a high shot from our angle, but
Yeah,
the
but
bullet
you
was
had it in
dropping
your
in there.
head the whole time.
Yeah,
it's a
I had it in
shitty
my head.
feeling.
Like that was added stress that whole night, because then we
Yeah.
recovered it the next day, which you'll
Does
see here in a
Brady
film.
hike down and meet you, or do you hike back to Brady?
I hiked down to
Brady
meet him.
hiked down to me.
Yeah.
So I did 2 shots. I packed up. I was literally
You got it all in footage?
I got all the footage, like totally random, like
Got
just
it.
sitting there digiscoping it.
Nice.
I'm in my bare feet at this point because I were drying off my socks still. I was like glassing in my bare feet up on top. I'm like, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here and dry off
Like
everything.
what bare feet are we talking about here?
Oh, good. Good one, good
Hey,
one.
that
A
was a
little
good
pun.
Yeah. So then, we pack up everything. I go down and meet Omar. I can't find Omar, but I can see all his tracks in the snow. Some smaller stuff.
Going back
I
up
make sure to
and
go
back.
through the snow too, so Brady can see where I
Yeah.
walk.
So like, I just don't know where he's at. He's like, I know he's down here somewhere.
You get there and you can't even tell where
Well,
Omar's
he's like-
doing, because
he-
there's just tracks up and down the hill.
Omar's lost. He's trying
Omar.
to find me, but he really can.
Yeah.
And then he yells once, and I'm like, dude, I can't see you. Like, he's in solid clothing, but it's amazing if you you just yell and don't move, like you're hidden. Like, solid clothing's pretty baller.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Finally meet up to Omar. Like, we realize that hill he's on is steep.
Yeah.
It's so steep. It doesn't look it, but it's so steep. You
How
know,
far back to camp are you after you get him all taken care of?
It's pretty well, you had it on your whoop, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, my whoop strap said I had a 20.5 strain.
There we go.
20, I think 21's the max.
What
and
is
it's
that?
like pretty impossible.
Pretty
to hit
impossible to get 21.
Yeah.
What is that? 21 what?
Strain
Strain,
level.
yeah.
So like exertion.
you're-
It says we
you're-
burned 7,200 calories that day,
Yeah.
Wow.
and that's not including backpack. Like, that's a crazy amount of calories.
How
Yeah, that's an
much
insane amount.
how much weight do you think you got in your pack going back out? You
Well,
got
it's-
the hide?
It sucks. Yeah, because we get out of the bear, process the bear, take some photos, start hiking
You bone
out.
it out?
No, we did not.
No.
We decided not to bone it out there because it was
So
getting dark.
You're packing quarters?
Packing quarters, packing hide, kept the skull on the hide. I had all my insulation layer, spotter, all this extra stuff, rain gear. Like, our packs were heavy, so he took all the meat. I took all his gear. He took the hide, and then now it's like we're hoping to get that thing taken care of, but it took so long to get up there with well light to get back across the river before dark. Because we didn't want to go up that ab shoot. It's one of those things where I would say, like, you should follow exactly the path down. That's why I put that track down, because we know it's safe, but it's gnarly safe. It's like borderline safe, but you know it because you went down it. So like, well, if we go over here, we can connect up this other hillside. It looks way easier to get up to our elevation band, and then cut all the way back across, and then have a lot of miles to camp. So we drop all the way down. It's dark now. Unfortunately, we get all the way back down, and then we get cliffed out. We get to the water crossing. We're cliffed out. We can't cross it there because the river's raging because it's been hot now. So the water's getting up there higher. And it's a new area. So I'm like, well, we could go up and over this cliff band, go way down further upstream, and then drop back down and then cross. But I'm like, well, it's dark. I don't even know if that's safe. So like, why waste that energy going back uphill around the cliff band there? Let's just go back to our original plan. And
Well,
luckily
no.
we weren't too far from original plan. But then we had to go back to the original plan. That's why I referenced the photos. I was like looking at my headlamp, turning it all bright. I'm like, that's the tree we crossed by, and this is here. So it's there, but now it's dark out, and you can't see through the water. And the water looks a little murky and cloudy now because of the snow melts. I'm like, it definitely rose a little bit. You can see where we were before based on the photos. That's why I like taking photos of crossing so we can see what.
Do you ever take a stick and give a little measurement and then mark it, leave it?
That would have been a better idea, but I just usually take a photo of right where we're at. And
I haven't done that.
I
I
can see
just-
the rocks.
Just feels
Just
like
for
a
the
good
record,
idea.
it's not something that I've done, but just logically in my mind, just throwing that out
That's
there.
something you should do for sure. And then like take a picture reference of the stick. Yeah. Safely we crossed. Omar always gets puckered up, he says, when we do these stream crossings because he's like,
scary.
how do you get across so fast? Like I can skip through the water and my boots are never wet because I just hop through it. And like I've
Then
told
you
you
got
guys
9
before,
foot
they
legs.
used to call me a genetically engineered fisheries biologist because I'm like
feet.
made
Quick
for
feet.
crossing rivers. And he gets across and I'm like standing out there trying to grab him. He's like, no, I got it. We get across that and we're like, that was the point I was nervous about more.
Through a crossing.
Yeah, Omar actually wasn't. He was nervous, but like I was like, because the water's deeper and it's dark out. We
Yeah.
don't know any other safe spot. So once we got across, I was like, oh, thank you. Like we're safe now. But then Omar's like, well, I didn't feel too bad about that. I feel bad about what we got next because now we got to go back up the ab chute.
Oh, disgusting.
The ab chute that I skied down and all the rocks scree.
What time did you get back that night?
It was like 2 in the morning.
2 in the
No
morning.
way. Wasn't
Yeah.
your birthday anymore.
No.
But at one point we got to the
Dang
top.
it.
Yeah.
We got to the top elevation band where we needed to go that we could just skirt and side hill, the easy stuff.
At midnight, you
11:54.
celebrated.
Yeah.
11:54. I was like, Omar, it's still your birthday. We made it through the savage part. So then we
Nice.
then,
Good
and then
birthday.
that rest of that trip.
I mean, I'm poking fun, like it's kind of cute, but but it is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I'm putting myself in your shoes. You know, you kill a bear on your birthday, you climb out, you're physically exhausted, you're pushing midnight. That's a pretty cool little moment.
It is
to
cool.
think like
Yeah.
I had a
Going
little-
going back to like college days and stuff, like I like the memories I'm doing on my birthday are way more memorable than the pointless memories I was having back in college.
Yeah, we were
course.
joking
In
about
high
that. Like,
school,
what would
yeah.
we,
do a
what would we be
podcast. We
doing?
share those. Your other birthday memories.
Yeah, we'll talk through all of it.
They're different, right?
So
But
yeah, that was cool.
it was crazy though. Once we got up there and we started hiking, like I started getting like almost like delusional in the fact I thought we were closer to camp than we were. And I'm like, I remember this tree. I remember my rifle was getting hung up on it. There should be a creek crossing here in a little bit. Did we already cross the creek crossing? And I didn't remember crossing it because now I feel like we're close to camp. But then I pulled out my phone like, dude, we're a long ways from camp. Like our bodies were
boy.
torched.
Yeah.
Our feet were torched. Our legs were torched from climbing up that ab chute with weight and like constantly taking breaks. Like it was
Did you decide to
it was
stay?
savage.
You stay?
No.
You kept going?
Yeah, we kept going. We just went all the way to camp.
You ever consider just staying? Posting up, starting a fire, hanging out?
You did joke about
Yeah, I
it,
joked.
but I was
We
like,
could do
fuck that. Like, let's
Yeah,
get to
we
camp.
can make it, but I was like, we're just gonna. And I told him too. Once we sat down, so my dad's
The older I get, the more attractive like that. The
Just hang
alternative,
out.
yeah, just
Yeah,
hang
just
out,
hang out,
start a
man.
fire, hang out.
And that's-
We were talking about sleeping in my bear's like coat, like to
Yeah.
keep us warm.
Yeah, was it cold night? I mean, like, would you have had a really cold
we sat
night?
down. It was you'd get chills because we're sweaty, but we could have done it. We had down pants, down jacket, you know,
Yeah.
all that. But I did say at one point, it's like no matter how long it takes, we're going to take it slow. My dad's biggest advice he always gives me is what you do all the time. Don't try to do something so psycho and crazy, which I do a lot of psycho and crazy stuff when I'm out there, but like understand that balance point to not blow your legs out or blow your knees out because you have more hunting to do in your
Right.
life.
Yeah,
so I'm
you
like,
have to
why
be-
force it? If I starting to get tired, just sit. I
Yeah,
have nothing.
calculated.
No one, if someone can make fun of me for sitting down, whatever. I don't care. It's just me and Omar.
We got
and the
nothing but
camera.
time back there.
Nothing but time. So like, if we want to take a break right now and wait 15 minutes for my legs to feel better, let's just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both in great shape, but it's like, why push the envelope to injure ourselves, packing all that heavy weight when we can just sit down and take a break?
Who's in better shape?
I think Brady's in better shape. His legs are incredible back, like just
Cheat codes.
how long they are. He's just
Yeah,
it's not fair.
slender man.
But we both have the cardio.
not
Like, we
fair.
both
Cardio.
like we can go for miles and miles and
You
miles.
didn't feel like you were waiting for one or the
No,
other?
that's why Omar's a savage back there. Like he can hang. Like he said on camera too, there's not a lot of people I would go back there with. There honestly isn't.
Omar said that?
We both said it together. Like just like
Gotcha.
we're a team. Like it's his bear, but we both are a team that helps each other kill bears. And if I had someone else, I don't know if we would be as successful as we are back there because of the terrain. And we even joked too, like when we decided to go in that stalk, there was nothing that you said that like I shouldn't do that, or I didn't say like that's kind of far, maybe we shouldn't. We're both like, hell yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. We don't care about the outcome of how savage is it going to be. And that's the hunting partner.
It's funny
need
if
to
you have a good hunting partner and give you like that little bump in self-confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know when
For
you and I
sure.
hunted together,
Yeah.
I was like, Yeah, I feel like we can pretty much tackle whatever we got in front of us.
Yeah.
You know, like there's not really any reason that we couldn't figure it out. So,
No.
whereas like you're on your own, there's that little bit of self-doubt sometimes where you're like, I don't know if I can deal with that on my own. Or like if you do face staying out overnight on your own, that's a different vibe than it is when you got a buddy.
Yeah.
Totally
And
different.
you guys
vibe.
can sit there and shoot the shit and,
Yeah.
you know, cuddle. But yeah, it is good having a good hunting partner. It gives you that little bit of boost and confidence, I think,
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah, and I knew we'd get back when, I don't know, but yeah, we went up that mountain. And we got some video of it, but it was freaking steep.
Did you guys pick some ticks when you got back?
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
This wasn't tick camp yet, but this camp has a lot of ticks as well.
We're getting kind of long, but I wanted to hear just a real quick version of your bear, but then mostly I wanted to talk ticks.
Yeah.
And why I'm never going spring bear hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the quick summary is we ended up moving camp way further than we probably should, but that area we were at.
So you moved camp after you killed your
After
bear?
we hunted that area a couple more days and decided to move camp finally. Like, well, there's no bears here. Like, I kept telling Omar, I guarantee there's a bear here somewhere. We're just not digging them up.
Mm-hmm.
So why waste time just sitting here? I know there's got to be a bear in my head. I'm thinking that. But let's just move. The country we looked at before, we were on that rock pile looking at Omar's bear. We're looking at stuff further up. I'm like, dude, that country looks sick.
So you move uphill with your camp, you leave your bear there?
Yeah, we took camp.
Yeah.
We left the bear at camp 1.
How'd you leave it? Rolled up, laid
Yep.
out?
Rolled up, didn't debone it yet. I told Omar we got to find a tree that's gonna not get the sunlight during the hot part of the day, so it's still shaded enough, but semi-shaded in the morning,
you hung
semi-shaded in the
it?
evening.
Okay, yeah.
Hung
Go
it up
hunt
in-
game bags?
Yep.
Go hunt
How
game
that
bags.
work? Good?
Solid.
Amazing.
Nice. I had a guy hit me up the other day, said 12 animals he packed out last year.
Fantastic.
Go hunt game bags.
Heck yeah.
That's a lot of animals.
That's a lot. He's a guide in Arizona.
Oh, that makes
Said,
sense.
said he had.
I was about to ask, like, what is he doing?
He's killer.
Yeah, so we hung everything in trees. We separated out some extra stuff we didn't need. Had a little separate gear cache right there. We had another gear cache down the mountain too. But just like we wanted to go lighter. So we didn't take the raft any further than that. We left it right there, left a bunch of camp, left his meat, and savagely went up the mountain.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be our last hurrah.
Last hurrah, because like we could sit here and do pointless things and try to glass for bears was not, or we can take these last like 4 days and pack 4 full days of food and go as far as we can and check it out. And then if we set up next camp, we can continue to go further from there. So get all the way over there, drop down this big basin, climb all the way back up. And at first I was like, Omar, you know what I like about this spot? And he's like, what? I'm like, there's no ticks. We had a 5-minute period of no ticks. And that was just amazing to me. And then we hit the other side and I was like, oh, I just ate my words. There was more ticks
So
than we've
bad.
ever experienced in our life on this other side. And we get up there, we start setting up camp, and we're like, what's up with these ticks? There's everywhere. That's why we called it tick camp.
Tick camp.
Like they're all over the ground, all over the vegetation around there, all over us.
Are you using a floorless shelter?
Florida shelter, yeah.
Is there,
What
why? Is there
Yeah.
any, I mean, why would you do that knowing there's a ton of ticks?
Because of the stove factor, being able to dry our gear out, dry our boots out, have the Graxaw boot dryers hanging up on top, like being able to just take care of gear, cook food on it. Omar toasted his bagel one day on it after we cleaned off the ticks off the top. And I was like, you should probably dump some water on there, Omar, to clean off the ticks on the stove, make a little steam.
I thought you put little ticks on your bagel.
Hey, man.
I'm going to say bagel
Protein.
now because Brady always says bagel.
Yeah,
Your
my
bagel.
girlfriend makes fun of it. I always say
It's a
it too.
northern thing.
A bagel.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Bagel.
So then we set up camp, and I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we got all this way and killed the bear right away? Like I literally joked about that. And then that night's when I killed my bear. So we got all the way to Savage to camp, set up glasses, some canyons a little bit. And I kept going to that other canyon, like I said. It was really great. Didn't see anything, came back to Omar and went back over. But the cool part, like I said, I already described a lot of this earlier, but seeing that bear next to that tree, making that long stalk all the way down there, seeing that bear still bedded, I was like, I'm surprised it was still bedded, but it helped us. Because we're kind of in the open for a little bit. Yeah, bears don't have the best eyesight, but I was trying to sneak in there. Got on this little point, and I was like, dang, we're starting to lose elevation. I can't see where that bear is because it's super steep in the back wall canyon. Looped back around, climbed up another steep face to try to get elevation, set up, and I was like, oh, the bear's finally open. It was one of those things, though, where I like had time. I grabbed a bunch of debris in front of me, moved all these sticks out of the way, tried to make the perfect shooting platform.
You're shooting uphill or cross canyon?
Uphill cross canyon.
That's tough shot.
Yeah. And then, so the angle was really steep. So one of my bipod legs was really long. The other one's really short. I'm kind of laying there. I grabbed my initial ascent backpack, laid it up next to me so I could kind of get my left arm onto it. So I went slide down the mountain.
That's when you scope yourself shooting uphill prone.
Yeah.
I could, yeah. So you
Oh,
know
I
what,
have. That's why I said it.
and like I'm sure someone will say in like the comment like, "Oh, look at Brady's form of his body; it's all crooked." But like I literally had to put my left leg all the way down to the side to hold myself in the position, and then my right leg was kind of kicked off. Had my glassing pad underneath me, tried to dig out a spot for my right arm, and just dug my bipod in, got my rear support set up, like boom.
That's when all that hot yoga you do comes in handy.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. So like I'm always
Vegas
big
hot
on
yoga.
like
Downward dog.
making that shooting position perfect, and I felt really confident. I'm like, the Bears out in the open now, like it's game time, as Campos would say.
It's game.
Shout out Campos.
Shout out Campos.
I said game time.
I said game.
I said game time. You guys should check out his video.
That's a t-shirt. I said game time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so like I'm like, it's gonna happen right here, and the Bears finally in the open. We're looking at him like, yeah, it's actually a good bear. Like it's a chocolate colored bear.
He's
you know,
really pretty bear.
pretty bear.
He is,
Yeah.
It's kind of a cinnamony,
Very
chocolate.
cinnamony. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's walking
It's
around.
darker than that bear, right?
Yeah, it's bigger than that bear and probably more cinnamon. Definitely more cinnamon than that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at this bear, and Omar somehow grabbed my spotter, which was really great. And he didn't know how to work the tripod as well, but he got it all figured out. He was recording, and the bear starting to, turn a little bit more. And I'm like, I'm just going to wait, Omar, until the bear's perfectly broadside.
You're filming?
Yeah,
filming.
You
we
guys
got
together?
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
we're both next to
Digiscope
each other.
and
So
the
he's
camera.
filming on Digiscope, and he's got the camera rolling. I'm laying there. I got the GOHUNT ammo wallet laid out. Got the 2 rounds on the side in case I need it. I just want to be prepared, It's hunting. And finally, the bear's starting to turn. I'm like, Omar, I want that leg to be a little more opened up a little bit.
Did
I
you
just wanna
take
be
any
prepared.
dry fires?
I didn't actually take any dry fires. No,
Mm.
no. I was really calm and collected though. Like I felt really good and everything. Laid down, got the yardage multiple times, confirmed it, dialed the wind. 'Cause I don't hold, I dial. So sue me. I
Really?
dialed,
Sue him. Somebody.
Yeah, really.
yeah. So I dialed it all in. I'm like, all right, Omar, he's gonna take the next step. And like, all right, I'm gonna send it. Press that trigger off, and that moment was so sweet. Like I could watch it hit the bear. Omar's like, he hit him solid. The bear does like a big giant flip backwards, catches himself, spins around a little bit, and moves like maybe 5 yards, and literally dies while he's moving, and then tumbles. When I say tumble,
Like the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
ass over Tico, all the way down the mountain. It was like the steepest spot I could have killed him at. And I'm like watching it, moving over. I'm like, oh, I definitely killed him then. And then Omar was recording the whole time and saw the bear tumble for a long time. Rocks are spraying everywhere. Bear stops. And I was like, yeah, he's definitely dead. And I look back over and I'm like, he's tumbling again. Like he just must have like stopped for a second. And then the weight of his arm or whatever moved down and he starts tumbling again. And then we had a decision to make. Obviously, I turned around to Omar. I was like, can't believe it happened. Gave each other big giant bear hugs.
There we go.
Yeah.
Respectable bear hugs.
Respectable bear hugs. Because respectable bear. And then we had a little decision to make. I sat there and I was like, I'm gonna send an inReach to my girlfriend real quick and my dad and all that, like I always do.
Who was the first one?
Yeah.
Dad or girlfriend?
My girlfriend this time.
Oh, and they have. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna wait till the end, but this is a good time to do it. What is the total inReach message count to the girlfriend? What's the total?
I've never inReached so much in my life.
I thought he was mapping the whole time, so I wasn't that pissed. And I figured out he was texting his girlfriend. the
It
whole
was that
time. It was pretty bad.
That's what I was.
Unlimited.
I was waiting till the end to bring this up, and you just led right into
Like I
it.
could sit there and just scroll.
It was nonstop.
No
Nonstop.
wonder Omar saw all
This is the
bears.
first hunt that she's been around me for, and so like so we're talking about logistics. We're talking about
Yeah, that's why you
logistics
set
about.
expectation of 1 a.m. when you wake up, hey, good morning, and then 1 p.m. I'm safe, I'm going to bed.
We did say that, but I'm also a really nice guy, and I want to hear how her day is and talk to her. So
Hey
it was-
Trill, is that what you do?
What?
yeah.
It's a hey, good morning, we're headed out, and then it's a hey, I'm safe, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. So I we agreed ahead of time, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, but like we broke that rule and. talked
Well,
a
it
lot.
sounds like you just threw the rule out the window.
I know. A lot of it though is like in camp.
Yeah,
It was in camp at night.
What's the guess on total inReaches?
I don't know.
7,000.
It was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Brady really likes this girl. I thought it was cool to see.
I do.
There we go.
I do.
So the girlfriend first, then
girlfriend
dad.
first, then dad. No,
Sorry,
I-
Dad, you heard it here.
Yeah. And the cool thing was though, I always tell my dad to tell my family because I want to reach all like my 2 brothers and my mom. I always feel bad sometimes. I reach my dad because said my mom, but I'm like, tell mom instantly. Like, make sure you do. And my dad copied my messages and dropped them in there in our group family chat text thing.
You should have texted your girlfriend and said,
Hey, can you send this to my family?
tell my dad I
Send it
killed
to
a
Steven
bear.
Rocks. So then we had a decision there, though, where I'm like, well, we can recover this bear right now. We know it's dead. It's, like I said, it was way late in the evening when the bear finally got up, and now it's, dark right now.
Is it dark when he's down?
I mean, I had 15,
Pretty much,
15
minutes.
minutes of light left. Everybody could see it. We did a little video.
So you go back to camp that night.
Yeah, I decided to go back. So
Smart.
it's ab shoot country.
Mm-hmm.
It's there in
Real
the dark.
smart.
Like, it's cool enough too. I grabbed weather in my thing. It's like the bear's meat's not going to be bad. Like, I love bear meat, so like I cherish it. I don't want any animal to whatever leave it out overnight and have it be bad. Went back to camp. Woke up kind of late the next day because I was like just jacked on adrenaline. I couldn't fall asleep that night.
Yeah,
Like,
me
I was-
neither.
I was
We watched
all
14
night.
Peaks.
Oh yeah, last night we watched 14 Peaks.
Yeah, Quinn's not in the blood.
Yeah, earlier I was watching like Sanctity of Snow or whatever that one is, and then a couple other climbing movies. I like climbing movies, but yeah, I woke up next day, went over there, recovered my bear, and made a cool day out of it.
How's the pack out? The whole pack out.
The whole pack out.
You got all your gear, 2 bears.
Last year we made multiple trips and
What's a bear hide weigh?
It's
heavy.
heavy.
Bear meat too.
150?
Yeah, it's
Bear meat to
40?
me is more dense. It feels just. It doesn't have a lot of meat comparatively to like a deer or elk, but it just feels denser than like an elk. I don't know what it is. Bear bones
I
especially
like how
do.
you said an elk. It's more dense than an elk.
I don't know. It just feels heavy. It's just-
Muley might be the same, but it's definitely more dense.
But then you got a skull on top of it, and then you're trying
Sure.
full body hide.
Uh-huh.
But we got back to camp with all that stuff.
How live weight? What do you think these bears are? 300
I would never know. I don't know
250?
mountain bears. People ask that all the time. No clue. I don't know.
Mountain bears are different, though.
Yeah, sometimes they have big blocky heads. Sometimes they have short bodies. Sometimes they're long. Like, I don't know.
Anyway.
No clue.
yeah, no.
So you
clue.
got-
Yeah, we deboned. I deboned my bear at camp. At tick camp. Packed up tick camp. We split weight there. Went all the way back to camp 1, and then Omar deboned his bear, and then we decided, well, we could leapfrog right now, or when I started calculating the miles. Calculating the miles put it into perspective. Like from where we are now, there's no way we can leapfrog. We're gonna take it slow, all the weight, stove, teepee, gear, spotter, rifles, bear
Raft.
meat, bear hide, raft, the oars.
Who's
Yeah.
carrying the raft?
Omar
We-
did.
You
Yeah.
carried the boats?
For a little bit, then.
We
both
definitely
carried
put that line out there. Who's going to
Yeah.
carry the boats? And we got that recorded. But yeah, we split it up. Oh, and that's the nice thing too with initial ascent. They have that hook on the side.
Yeah.
So we just strapped it on right to the side. So it was bouncing a little bit for Omar. So Omar did part of the way. Then we stopped at one point. I did part of the way with it banging there. And I'm like, I just can't handle this anymore. So I put it on the top load of my backpack and it's made the snow collar a lot longer. And I have no clue weight wise. I hate saying weights, but 110,
Heavy.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like you needed 2 people
I mean,
every time.
it's
110,
heavy. It's
120.
heavy as shit. You got meat, hide,
Yeah.
gear, everything. It's heavy as shit.
But that's
Heavy
what,
ass
that's what I kept
rifle.
saying before, though. It's like that's why I loved the initial ascent backpack when I went to Alaska on the moose hunt. And this is where it did shine. Like we both said, like there's no way, like this amount of weight would be this comfortable
Yeah.
with that good frame on there. Like it holds weight very well. And this is a hunt. You just have to have weight because you have to have food. You have to have some gear. You still have weather, so it's not like an early season hunt where you don't have layers and all that stuff. This pack was savage. It was brutal. It was brutal. And then the ticks, like you guys want to talk about ticks.
Yeah, well, just real quickly, since we are super long. This is why I'm never going spring bear hunting, is seeing your guys' pictures and videos. But Brady, why don't you listen to the people on social media when they tell you what to do? They told you how to get away from all the
They
ticks.
tell me every single time, and I've tried responding to people multiple times.
I think you like the ticks.
Yeah, and now
How did
I
you-
always have to. That's why I made a post yesterday on my personal Instagram, saying like, "This is what this trip is like." But here we are. I do use permethrin. All right, the Sawyer
I just
brand.
don't think you're listening clearly.
Sawyer brand, I believe, only has 0.3% permethrin. All right, it's not a lot.
It's a spray.
It's a spray. So it's like when you use DEET, you get DEET from a store. It's like not a lot of DEET. Then you get DEET. That's like 100% DEET. That's like going to give you cancer or whatever. Like it's gnarly shit. So like I went to like, there's just different levels. And so I also went to the Tractor Supply store and I can't remember the brand, but it has like 13% permethrin. So it's more. So I actually don't like putting it on my skin. I don't like anything on my skin. I guess I don't feel like it's stuff bad for you, but I sprayed all my clothes. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got to spray your clothes." I'm like, "Well, guys, listen to me here. All right, it's just like putting mosquito spray on. You put mosquito spray on, did you still get bit? So every now and then you still get bit.
Sure.
It wears off. You have to reapply it. You put
I don't
sunscreen on, do you get burnt still with sunscreen? eventually it's going to wear off.
Not Omar, but
Not
yeah.
Omar. He gets
I
tan.
do
You
put
put,
it on.
you put deodorant on, can you still stink?
Happens all the time.
Never.
And these ticks, you know, after all the spraying on the clothes of permethrin, you're hiking, you're busting brush, it's raining, you're crossing streams. The day's going, I can't just reapply this stuff when I'm out there. And it doesn't work as well as people think it does. But yes, tick aware, you should be fully tick aware and do everything it is, because ticks are nasty, and the things you can get from Lyme
Did
disease.
you put
is
duct
horrible.
tape around your around your ankles?
I never
or
did. I never
no?
was, like we thought about doing a video on that, but I was like, I don't have that much duct tape, and Omar didn't have any duct tape.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to use all mine, but we were using the duct tape to pat ourselves down to pick up the ticks. Like the ticks are just everywhere in our body. Like when I say everywhere, at some point we have 30, 50 ticks on us at one point. Like no joke.
Yeah, I saw the videos.
Under your clothes?
On the
everywhere?
clothes, on your stomach. I have bite wounds all over my stomach, on my
Same.
legs, my
Hips,
back,
like,
my
yeah.
neck.
Is there any
And
point where you're
In between the layers, like if you have a base layer on, like, and then a mid layer, like in between those layers, you have ticks. You pull it off. Omar had ticks all over his shoulder walking around, so we just like pat him. Like we have lighters sometimes. I'm like, I'm gonna burn out my lighter. Like put it on a rock every time, and then every time you get a tick, when you're doing that and you're trying to light, then you're not glassing, so you're wasting
That's what
time.
I remember from shed hunting when there's a lot of ticks, is that I would have I'd have so many ticks on me that I would forget that I was shed hunting, and I was just constantly picking ticks. I wasn't looking for sheds because I was always just like worried about how many ticks were on me,
And then
which was no fun.
I just think Brady's not listening to the experts about how to take the ticks away.
Yeah.
It's full of experts.
Yeah, I just don't think you're listening.
And like, then if you flick them, like we flick them sometimes, we'll stop along this place when we're hiking, and we just notice we have tons of ticks on our legs, so we'll flick those off because we continue to hike. When we were sitting there glassing,
Do you like a
and you're
mark and
flicking 'em.
recapture?
What?
A mark and recapture. See if they're
I want to do it because I
You're
swear,
like,
like,
that tick's following me.
so sometimes I flick them or I grab them off and I chuck them, and the wind sometimes will hopefully carry them away. But I'm like, that tick, guys, got to take 5 hours for that tick to crawl back up. They're so small. But you start seeing how fast these buggers go, you're like, oh, these ticks are probably on us in the next 15, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were researching stuff later on about like how ticks move around and stuff like that. But
At
like,
night, you're picking ticks?
all day, all night.
You should see their belt lines
Yeah.
of how many bites they have.
What are the chances you still have a tick on you?
None. I got back.
Baby girl checked them out.
Look at your. You don't think there's
showered.
one up there on your noggin?
I showered.
And
I
that
showered.
hair?
I showered 3 times.
That
when I got
lion's
back.
mane?
I think baby girl, I think she checked
Did
them
you
out,
have her
if you know
check
what I
your-
mean?
check-
Brad
for
Paisley
ticks?
song? I like to check you
Yeah,
for ticks.
I think she saw parts of his body that he's never seen.
You don't think there's any chance you got a tick
No.
hanging on your grundle or anywhere or anywhere else?
Like I said, when I got back, after we drove all the way home, we got back at whatever 1:30 in the morning. I took a shower, let myself dry off a little bit because I figured it better to dry off, and then go back in the shower. Showered again, woke up in the morning, showered again. I showered multiple times just to get rid of everything, and going through my gear, laid out all my gear.
Oh, you definitely got ticks in your house.
No, after Omar
I
left.
think so.
After
You
Omar
got
left,
pack in your house? There's definitely ticks.
Omar left, and I put my gear outside, put the bears outside, laid the hides out, put the hides in trash bags, whatever, froze them. I have a torch in my garage that I used to use for archery stuff and like inserts and stuff. And I would literally pull up all my gear, lay out my clothes like we do when we're hunting, and I fold it out the correct way, put it inside out, grab the ticks off, burn them in the torch, went through all my gear. Like I literally went through everything beforehand. And
Do people normally, when they come home for something like that, lay their clothes out on the back porch for a few days, just let them kind of wander off?
I'm sure they probably do.
You like picking and burning?
But yeah, there's just, it's just inevitable. I mean, I think the area we're at too just has a lot of ticks, and we notice when we get to a certain elevation, there's ticks, and we also, over the years, I've noticed too the strategy of ticks, which is crazy. I know how ticks now function.
Strategy.
So ticks when the slope's coming downhill and you're walking uphill, the ticks will only be on the uphill side. So how the grass lays uphill and then will bend over because of elevation, gravity. So if the ticks are on the lower side and maybe you're on a trail for a little bit, if they're on the lower side, they're never going to connect onto an animal. So they're always on the uphill side. So when you're hiking, going uphill, your right leg will always get ticks. Your left leg will have none. So you constantly are stopping just to look at your right leg. And
Your uphill leg.
uphill leg, yep. And so you're always then also, you can look at the ground. And like I said, you can see these ticks. There will be 5, 10, 15 ticks on a blade of grass. Like no joke, I have videos of it. Like, so people are like, oh, permethrin. Well, they're going to fall on you when you're hiking. And what are they going to do? Yeah, they might not try to bite you, but they're going to fall in some area and crawl up on you. And sure, that spray can help eventually, like make them want to fall off, but they're on you. They're in between your gaiter. They're on part of your boot. Like they're there. And you can see them. So as we're stepping while we're hiking, we're constantly having to adjust our stride, which then hurts your hiking. and go up and over the ticks or like move around the little brush. You don't touch the ticks. Like you can see them all on these ticks with a little feelers sticking out to the side, waiting to grab onto you. Like it literally is.
When you come home, you guys get on some sort of meds.
Yeah. So the meds.
Is that recommended? I mean, who gave you?
Here's a trail. Sorry, Brady got baby girl. Mm-hmm. Omar is single. So what are the chances that you have a tick on you? Brady's been checked multiple times.
For
sounds
sure.
like since the day
For
he got
sure,
back.
Omar does.
So what about you?
For sure.
There might be a tick on me.
Sounds like we need to find a baby girl for Omar to make sure he's don't have
Yeah, if
ticks
there's
on him.
anybody out there wanting to check Omar for ticks,
Let me know.
slide in
Let
his
us know.
DMs.
So the tick pills that can I say his name?
Doxycycline, right?
Can I say his name? Yeah,
No,
our tick
but-
pill is our friend. Doxycycline monohydrate. So I in-reached him while I was out there. I was like, I need the tick meds on order, please, by the time I get back, because you have never seen, like, you see the videos and photos.
And what
of
does
these
that
ticks.
do? Do you know?
Like kills bacteria.
Yeah,
It's used-
well, I looked it up, and it does Lyme disease a little bit, but it's also for malaria. Basically kills all the bacteria in your body. So I'm like, this is a precaution.
I've
I did it
taken
last year.
before for when I was young, like in high school for acne too.
Yeah, and it does do acne stuff, and it's one of the side effects is it says on there you have to avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. So last year after the bear hunt, I figured I should probably do something and convince by my friends I should probably get checked out and get some tick meds. So I got it, started taking it, and then Nevada Draw results came out, and Remy drew a sheep tag last year, and so I went out scouting with Remy while I was like on day 5 of my cycle of these tick pills. And, in the Nevada desert, looking for sheep, it's direct sunlight. It was already 100 degrees in that area. I literally bombed
Fried.
hard.
Yeah.
Like my whole body felt dehydrated. I felt cramping in places I'd never had cramped before. Like it's dangerous stuff. Like when it says prolonged exposure to sunlight, avoid it.
Don't go
you
in the
avoid
sun.
it. Don't go in the sun.
I mean, it's pretty right there on the label.
Yeah.
So
So
I feel like it's pretty real.
yeah, there's
do you know
more
any-
ticks than I've ever seen in my entire life. And
Do you know anything about Lyme disease? I mean, the prevalence of getting Lyme disease from ticks out west. Yeah,
Isn't alpha gall more
mostly I
out
hear-
west?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Is it right? Isn't alpha gall more prevalent
I
out
have a
west? than-
screenshot somewhere.
That's
on
my
my phone.
understanding, but I don't know enough about it to know.
So
I was
I
wondering
have
if you had,
screenshots
since you're
about
just swimming in ticks all the time.
Stuff.
I was kind of watching a video on our drive back,
Oh, that was so gross.
and it was talking about how
My neck has been itching.
Yeah, the
A little
worst
bit,
feeling
yeah.
ever is like when you get home and you get all your gear in, you think you've done it, and then like 2 or 3 days later,
You see
you see a tick in your house, and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
that's why we got to get Tick Daddy on, right? What's his name?
Yeah, some guy.
Tick fluencer.
Oh yeah, where's that?
TikTok
The
fluencer.
TikTok fluencer.
TICK talk fluencer.
Yeah, we want to talk ticks.
Yeah, I should pull that back up too while we're talking here for a second. But
Yeah, this video I was watching was I don't really quite understand it, but it was talking about something I was more interested in, the Lyme disease, and it was talking about how ticks, if they latch onto rodents, something that the rodent carries and something in the body of the tick, that's how Lyme disease is formed, and if it gets onto a human next, latches on, it could transfer Lyme disease that way, and if it doesn't, and if it latches onto a horse or like a dog or something like that, and bites them, it somehow kills the Lyme disease. So then if it falls off again and bites a human, it can't give you Lyme disease. Super weird. And I don't even know if I nailed it, but it's
We
something
need this.
along
We
there.
need this tick guy on
so yeah,
here.
someone my post I made on Instagram. Someone commented, "Need to get in touch with Tickman Dan." So he's Tickman Dan. All his photos are he has tick shirt with a giant tick in the tiny tick picture in the background. He's a tick fluencer and tick ease innovator is what his Instagram thing says. And he just educating people on the risks of tick-borne illnesses. So
We
sounds
gotta
like,
have that guy on. I'm
We
interested.
gotta have him
sounds
on.
like we need to find an entomologist.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm interested
Or
to talk
Tickman
to
Dan.
somebody about ticks.
Yeah, because they're nasty. It's a big thing. I mean, obviously, people think I'm joking about it, but I'm not. It's a serious
Yeah.
thing. And like, yeah, it's the videos where I'm not trying to get ticks on me. I spray. I do things right, and we still have all those ticks. It's spring bear hunting. That's what keeps people away.
Yeah. And
It's the devil's creature to fight God's
really
beauty
is.
on earth.
Yeah, like we that's why we were joking about
That's
like
what it
what do we
is.
do next year? 'Cause,
Lot of
like this
ticks on
was so bad to the point where as much as I love spring bear hunting, I'm like, can I go somewhere else? Different drainage, different area, different state. But I run into ticks all over the place.
Different
or do
country.
we do something in a different country? We don't go to Mexico anymore. We go somewhere else.
yeah, South Africa.
So yeah, we're talking about maybe over and I maybe year 3 we do something a little different.
Bears have a lot of ticks on them. Bear hides
Oh, buddy.
covered in them.
Covered.
Yeah.
So you're picking ticks off those.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Omar's bear had a bunch on the face.
There's ticks at the house for sure.
For sure.
No.
How much meat do you think you get off a bear?
I don't know.
50 pounds, 100 pounds?
55, I think, is what I weighed it out yesterday.
Ground meat?
I ground it all. Yeah, I did it all last. Omar
Gotcha.
Omar came to my house last night. And we processed the bear, mixed it with bacon ends and pieces, sage seasoning, add some maple seasoning, and so it's basically like a breakfast sausage I turn it all into. But I use it for burritos, breakfast sausage, chili, that sort of thing. I love bear meat in a burrito.
We'll have to do bear meat burritos one of these days.
Speaking of, I'm going to get a burrito right now.
Let's do
Starving.
So that's a wrap, I guess. We should hit
a wrap.
SIG. SIG's a sponsor of the podcast.
Brought to you by SIG.
Yeah, end of the podcast. Sorry about that, SIG. I know you guys
talked
love
about
that.
we talked about the Zulus.
Yeah, we talk about optics all the time.
I know, but they should know that's what they signed up for here.
Exactly.
Is you might get a plug at the end of the podcast.
That's how we
but
operate.
Yeah, we do have a sponsor, which is SIG Optics, which I'm pumped.
Yeah,
I mean,
Me too.
I think we're all pretty firm believers in the Zulu rifle scopes, whatever it is that SIG produces. Everything that I've ever used has been top-notch quality, so I'm pumped to have those guys on the
from
podcast.
rangefinders to
Rangefinders,
scopes, everything in between.
scopes. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
binoculars that are rangefinders. They're other just normal binoculars, everything.
And we got the SIG Art Games coming up too,
That's
which
right.
we'll be able to talk a lot about.
Yeah, the
Yep.
three of us are going to make a run at it.
Yeah,
Three amigos.
One more thing. It involves SIG.
Mm-hmm.
Omar's debacle.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh no.
We're sitting there glassing the rock outcropping, trying to find Omar's bear to turn it up. And Omar, to his credit, the binos were set down, I think on a jacket or on a rock.
Hold on.
They seem flat.
The owner of the binos is right here.
Yeah, well,
That's why I can't wait to hear this. Let's keep going.
he did. I was like, oh yeah, you can fix that. He's like, well, they're not mine. I was like, oh yeah, they're Lorenzo's. So all of a sudden we're sitting there. Omar moves a little bit, and he's not touching his binos at all. His binos just. I hear something fall, and I hear something. And I'm like, what was that? And I look over like, Omar, those are your SIGs, your Zulus. And we look down. We look down. We're glassing off a cliff. They went down a effing cliff.
Wow.
Not that far. You're dramatizing. He's dramatizing pretty bad.
I heard that clunk, 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 clunk. Like that's could be 15 yards, could be 10
Are these
yards.
Lorenzo's binos?
Yes. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to the what's broke. What can I fix?
Yeah.
But
Is this the first time you're hearing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Brady.
So I'm like on a cliff right
this
now.
is
Okay.
gold.
you have to tell them eventually because you have to give them back to them.
This is
I think
gold.
give them back to they're fixed.
He gave them back to me. I've not heard. He gave them back to me, and I have not heard a word. So now I'm starting to figure this out.
But to his credit though, and the binos credit, they can handle it. They work perfectly. They're still all perfect. Like people are like, oh, the gyro will handle it. Well, the gyro can handle falling off a cliff. And then to his credit too, the next day he turned up a bear. So now
Yeah.
they're just more seasoned. You
That's good to know.
character.
Thanks for turning those in and not telling me. Appreciate it. Like I would have been like, hey, just so you know, if
Wow.
something does go wonky here, and like
Wow.
the next time you use them, like, hey, they did take a roll.
Wow, Omar.
Omar's looking right now. Is he gonna murder me?
Thanks,
That
Omar.
was good. That was a good spot to wrap up. When you started into that, I was like, I don't know if this is worth the squeeze, but that was definitely worth
worth
it.
the squeeze?
Yeah,
That
that
was
was the squeeze.
absolutely. Yeah.
So-
So,
You had a debacle too on your SIGs, kinda.
Well, kinda. I got a new adapter from Tricer. It's their Z6 mount that goes on the bottom to make it so you can. It's Arca Swiss,
Yeah.
so now I can mount it on the tripod to grid. And I put it as a prototype, and I put it on my Zulus at my house after I got done doing my leather conditioning in my boot. Didn't try to activate it to see if it would work, and so it uses the battery port area. Got all that in the field. Flipped the switch. I was like, oh, my battery's dead. Maybe it was on the whole time. I'm like, Mom, my battery's buried in my backpack. You got a battery handy, Omar? He's like, yeah, I do, because I take AA's. Put the battery in there, put it back on, flip the switch, nothing. I'm like, no way. Here we all got all the way out here, and I have a pair of Zulus that don't work. And I was like, it's got to be because of the battery door, because I don't have another battery door. And I pulled the battery door off, and on the one I got, like, again, this is a prototype product.
This is why you build prototypes.
Yeah.
Find out what's wrong.
And so the back of the prototype was painted still, and it needed to be ground off to bare metal,
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
battery could get metal to metal connection instead of the paint on there. So I took out one of my pyro putty little thing, like little knife blade things for like the little striker,
Yeah.
and just scratched all the paint off. Back in business.
Yeah, that's why you do prototypes. Find out everything that's wrong with it.
And
So,
if
yeah.
not, I just use Omar's binos.
except for yours at the bottom of a cliff. So.
And now I know that. Now I know who you are. I know the real you now.
No, that is not true.
Do we have any work we can give Omar right now?
Now I know the real you.
What?
Yeah. we've all know the real Omar now.
Oh man.
Just turned them in like nothing. Hey man, I
Just
really
like
appreciate
that.
you letting me use these. And that was it.
Yeah.
I swear that is
they
exactly
are
how
perfect.
And if they're not, they would have done a fucking clip.
it went. Yeah, they're not perfect.
They're built to last.
Oh, they're perfect. They are.
I would have just mentioned, hey man, if anything does go wrong with these, they did take a tumble. My bad. Just let me know if something does go wrong,
I did throw those down a cliff just in case you.
just in case you were wondering.
Now I feel like shit.
I was testing them out.
Now I know the real you.
Happy birthday, Omar.
I thought you told. I literally thought you told Lorenzo.
No,
already.
turned them in like everything was perfect. Just thanks, man.
It
Really-
was
really
Monday
appreciate it.
after. Yeah, no excuses. Fuck.
Maybe you forgot.
Right.
Well,
Well, clearly didn't forget because being brought up right now.
Yeah,
well, congrats
All
on
right.
a couple great bears.
that's a fun podcast.
Yeah,
Info.
thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Later.